Hey, it is week 3 already. Craziness. Crazy how fast this goes. You have so much hope going into week 1. And sometimes by the time you get to week 3, you are just completely demoralized. So, Bryce, tell me, when you look at all your fantasy leagues, where you stand. You feeling pretty good with the majority, or you getting a little demoralized?
There's, majority are going the way I think they are going to, they're going. There's just kind of two that aren't. The Grand Prix, the most expensive league. I'm just not able to pull out these close dubs. But I've got the team that could turn it around. So I'm not gonna. I kind of start to panic around week 4, week 5, because you can start 0-2 and still easily make the playoffs. Got to turn it around this week. But I sent you that picture of that one league. I'm completely rebuilding it and have half the first round next year and 8 picks in the second round or something stupid. So, it's going the way that I expected in majority. So can't complain yet. What about you?
Yeah, I hear you. My dynasty leagues are going just about how I expected. My redraft leagues and my Scott Fish Bowl and that not going at all how I thought, but I also talked myself into guys that I've been off of for a year or two now in those redraft leagues, and it has just been poo sauce. So it has not worked out in those, but what are you gonna do? Hopefully turn it around here in week 3, get some dubs. Rob
Absolutely.
Kane says, "What's up, guys?" Not a whole lot. We're gonna skip Craig because Craig's our guy, and we're gonna get Rob's question in here. But Madison or Nico in the flex full PPR?
I'm gonna go Nico Collins. I really don't look at Madison as a valuable fantasy asset at this point. They obviously feel the same way there, or they wouldn't have traded for Cam Akers. I know they didn't really give anything for him, but the thing is they still did. So it won't be Cam Akers' week this week because I don't think he's suiting up from what it sounded like from their head coach.
I don't think he's playing.
But I mean, hey, Nico Collins is leading the AFC in yards, I believe now, if I'm not mistaken. And CJ Stroud looks to be the real deal, super accurate passer. They're going to have to pass all year long. So I honestly am really liking Nico Collins and, not related to this question, and Tank Dell as flex options moving forward in fantasy leagues.
Yeah, I do not disagree. Nico was another popular guy that we had on the show last night. Lots of questions about, which just looking to take Houston offense. I mean, what? Nico, Tank, and Robert all had 10-plus targets last week. They're heaving the ball right now. So get those guys in your lineup. Craig says PPR flex, Jacoby Myers or Rachaad White. Obviously, Rachaad White, he was another popular one last night because he's got that matchup against Philly. Jacoby had a huge week 1, but then had to sit out with the concussion that he got in week 1 game last week. So which one of these guys are you starting?
That matchup against Philly is tough, but let me look here at Rachaad White's usage in the past game. Okay, so week 1 he had two targets, 2 receptions. Week 2 he had 5 targets, 5 receptions. So he's catching everything thrown his way. With that being said, they're going to have to pass the ball today. Rachaad White is a pretty good back out of the backfield. Give me Rachaad White, even with the bad matchup with that PPR value. But I really like Jacoby. I'd really try and get both these guys in my lineup.
Yeah, I'm gonna go Jacoby. I just think that Raiders are gonna throw a ton as well, and I agree. These bad matchups for running backs when they're a pass catcher can turn into gold because of the dump offs and 2-minute drills and all of that fun stuff. But I do like my running backs getting more than maybe 20 rushing yards, and I'm not convinced that Rachaad White gets more than that during this game. Philly's just tough, so I'll avoid that and I'll go with Jacoby. Sweet Teabag says, "Is Puka playing for sure this week? I don't want to leave him in if he doesn't play Monday night." Listen, we don't have that answer for you. It sounds like he's going to play. He had this same injury heading into week 2. That did not stop him from getting 20 targets and 15 receptions. So I believe he's going to play. But if that's something that is really concerning for you, then I would play somebody that is not on the injury report and plays before. What do you think here?
I'm trying to pull. Okay, yeah. So this is yesterday via Adam Schefter. His Rams are listing Puka as a questionable with that same oblique injury, like you mentioned. But head coach Sean McVay expects the rookie to play. So I'd feel more than comfortable leaving him in my lineup. He is a must start at this point. I can't imagine his usage changes until we see Cooper Kupp come back. Because he doesn't play Cooper Kupp's position. People get that confused, but he's getting Cooper Kupp's usage. Take that all day.
I gotta correct here. He's not getting Cooper Kupp usage. He's getting historical.
Well, yeah,
way more. I mean, 17. He's averaged 17 and a half target, 35 in 2 games. Like, he's gonna come back down to earth a little bit, but you're not wrong. He is a must start.
Yeah,
but like it. This is the peak.
A little extra. Yeah.
This is the peak right here for Puka when it comes to targets, but he hasn't found the end zone yet, right? Neither him nor Tutu, who both have way too many targets to not have a touchdown. So, and then we talked a lot last night. I don't even know what Cooper Kupp's going to be when he comes back. He's not going to be the Cooper Kupp from 2 years ago. This hamstring, we don't even know. They were getting it looked at to see if it was a degenerative hamstring issue. So we don't even know what Cooper Kupp's going to be when he returns, at least for this year. Maybe by next year he's fully healthy, but I can't expect them to give him all the targets that he was getting, before this hamstring thing came up. So it's going to be real interesting to see how that plays out long-term with this team. But Puka's going to be involved, and he's going to be involved for the foreseeable future.
Yep.
But yeah, I mean, if I had Puka, I'd leave him in my lineup and just I'd test it. But that's just me.
Easily for me. Yeah.
London, Judy, Gus, half PPR, need a solid flex. Thanks.
Man, it's not Gus for me. So it comes between London and Judy. The Broncos play the Bengals, right? Or no, that's the Rams. Who the Broncos play this week?
I haven't even got my schedule up here yet. I can tell you I'm going Gus. This is pretty easy.
You are going Gus?
For me. And a half PPR. Justice Hill is out. It is Gus. And they may sprinkle in a little bit of Melvin Gordon, but they've also got this weather coming in for this game that is possibly going to completely limit the passing game. So just maybe a lot of running backs in that Indianapolis Colts and Baltimore Ravens game. So I'm going Gus here. He's got 2 touchdown upside. We know that the running game always does in Baltimore.
Yeah.
And then
okay, I you know what? I'll chalk this up to 4 and ceiling because I think Gus is probably the safest play. Definitely the safest play here with these 2 wide receivers who could put up less than 3 any given week. But Jerry Jeudy and the Broncos do play the Miami Dolphins. So that could be a really exciting game with a lot of scoring opportunity for the wide receivers. So I think if you want to go with a ceiling play of who could score the most points this week, I think Jeudy could be that best option for that case.
Craig says a bunch of tank questions last night too. Yeah, there were a bunch of tank questions.
I got him in a couple lineups this week.
Good morning, gentlemen. Flex spot, Shaheed or Bourne? Do I pick up Chuba off waivers? I'm going Kendrick Bourne here. He got the work last week. It didn't turn into a bunch of fantasy points, but he barely missed a touchdown early in that game, a long touchdown. And Shaheed, again, he's the number 3 there. And I feel like you got to bank on a long touchdown for Shaheed. And I think Kendrick Bourne is going to be highly involved. And the big question is, too, who draws Sauce the most, right? Because if it's Parker, then you got to look Bourne often.
Well, the way the Jets run their defense is Sauce Gardner never leaves the defense's left side, so the offense is right. and Reed plays on the opposite side. So they could just do what the Jets did, or I'm sorry, not the Jets, but the Dolphins, or who was it? Who they play last week? But whatever. The Bills. I'm sorry. They just kept lining Stephon Diggs up on the offense's left side to put him against Reed to avoid Sauce Gardner. At least that's what it seemed like. So they could just, stay away from Sauce because he's going to blanket any wide receiver that's on that side because none of them are good enough to get separation from him on a consistent basis. So I do see a lot of Kendrick Bourne lined up on the left, maybe even lined up in the slot with another receiver on the right. So I'm going Kendrick Bourne as well. The usage is just too good for him and Hunter Henry in that offense.
Yeah, just sacrifice Demario Douglas or Keyshawn Butte and put him over there on Sauce's side.
Douglas is a breakout candidate. He's a sleeper. Just wait.
Well, no, I'm just saying though, when you've got Parker and
100%.
You've got Parker and Bourne, sacrifice one of the young rookies, and
I'd sacrifice Parker, honestly. Throw him over.
I mean, I don't really argue that either. But being the veteran, they're probably not gonna. But
yeah, probably true.
Sorry, kid. This is your introduction to the NFL. You're gonna go over there and get sauced. I'm going Bourne there. Just if I don't remember what I exactly
you
said,
did.
But in a 12-team Superflex PPR tight end premium, full point extra for 2.0 per catch. Start 2 tight ends. Holy cow! So you got the two PPR for the tight end, plus you got to start 2. So you're starting 10 total. What is Laporta worth in rookie picks? Tight end value is inflated, of course. I'm thinking a mid-first and a second to consider moving him.
Appears to be a fair value in this type of format. I mean, I don't know if you're going to get both, but just even the mid-first for him would be super nice. I would imagine with this format, Brock Bowers is going to go top 3. But it depends if it's super flex as well. Oh yeah, super flex. So yeah, that mid-first could definitely be worth it. If you can add a second to it, then cool.
That's what I was going to say. If you can put yourself in position to draft Brock Bowers in your rookie draft next year, then you're doing pretty good. I think it's got to be more than a first, right? Laporta was going in the first in some drafts this year. Next year's class is better. And that was in our leagues that have some of them had no tight end premium and he was going in late first. And then in our tight end premiums, he was going 8-9 area. Him and Kincaid, just depending on which league it was. So I mean, I think you got to get at least a first and a second. If not a 2024 first and a 2025. If somebody pays you 2 2024 firsts or a 2024 first and a second, I think you're doing really well because next year's class is sick in Superflex. 6 quarterbacks in the first round of rookie drafts.
Yeah,
there's gonna be a lot of value in there.
The only thing that could ruin that is if some of them stay, which is already rumored.
Yeah,
or being thrown out there into the ether. I don't know about it yet, though.
I'll believe it when I see it.
Yeah.
Rob Kane says Higbee or Tyreek Hill at tight end, full PPR.
Taysom, I assume.
Taysom. Yeah, this Higbee volume we thought he was going to get has went all to Tutu and Puka. Yeah.
Taysom Hill for me as well.
Brock says PPR flex. We got London, Christian Watson, Gabe Davis, and Jordan Addison. So I'm assuming we got to pick one out of this group.
Yeah.
And I think I'm going to go Addison here.
Yeah, I can't go Christian Watson because I think he's going to be playing, but even if he is, he might be in a limited fashion. Gabe Davis super inconsistent. So is London. Honestly, the most consistent guy in this group is a rookie who's slowly making his way, and he's got 2 touchdown each game so far this week. I think he's earned more targets. So give me Jordan Addison as well.
Yeah,
it is tough. It is tough though.
The one thing we know is that the Vikings are going to have to throw the ball, right?
Yep.
They can't run it so far, and they give up $1 billion. So Addison is my guy here. Do I drop Jalen Warren for Kendre Miller? Wouldn't start this week, just a stash. This is for Lex, planting some trees out there.
If this is a redraft, which I definitely assume it is, I think I would rather keep Jalen Warren. We got this is the last week of Alvin Kamara's suspension, and I really expect him to be like the main back this year. I like Kendre Miller for the future, but for this year, I think the odds of Jalen Warren taking over that starting back role is way higher than Kendre Miller. So I would rather keep Jalen Warren in a redraft format. Any other format, Kendre Miller.
I'll take Kendre. Warren may take over the backfield in Pittsburgh, but I think Miller's going to be heavily involved throughout the season, especially now that Jamal Williams is on the IR. They do use two backs in that backfield. Kamara's not going to be the only one. And I just think Kendre Miller's upside is way more or way better. I would go Kendre, and I'm actually last night we had a decent amount of Kendre questions, and we had him starting for people in a lot of situations. So I can't wait to see what he can do. Cap says, Rob, that Saints game is going to be interesting. Gus or Bryce in full PPR. This is for Johnny Be Good.
You got to go Gus here. This should be Bryce Hall any and every day of the week, but until his usage goes up, you're not going to feel comfortable starting him. Gus for me.
Yep, I'm going Gus as well. I think Gus is a top 12 option this week at running back. He's almost a must start. App Life, I agree. Thinking of rolling the dice with Hill, take 7-8 carries. Yep. Hear that? Luca says half PPR, start one. Robert Woods, Jake Ferguson, or Brandon Cooks. Who are you going with here?
This is kind of easily Robert Woods for me. I mean, he's got a ton of targets in the first two games. I mean, really all the receivers do. CJ Stroud is good. People, their record's not going to show how promising their future is, but I really like all these. Weird to say, but I like any of these Texans wide receivers in my lineup, especially this week.
I do not get excited about Robert Woods.
He's my least favorite out of the three, I will say.
I think I go Brandon Cooks. There's way more upside with him, and I think he's going to get looks on a weekly basis. So, I mean, I understand Robert Woods is definitely the safe play. He's probably going to get another 10 targets and, maybe 60 yards. Brandon Cooks, though, can get 60 yards in one catch, and that's what I'll kind of lean on. So, yeah, I'm going Brandon Cooks there. Emil says, trying to trade away Garrett Wilson. Who do you think I can get for him? I mean, that's a loaded question.
Definitely.
Do you agree that right now, with the way it looks, before he has a complete monster game, you're probably looking at the Drake London area if this is redraft? If it's Dynasty, I mean, you're still getting a top 15 player. But in redraft, you're probably looking in the Drake London wide receiver range.
Yeah, I mean, the only thing you can hope is that you can get value based on a name basis as well. Like there's some people that, a little more inexperienced players that will value players higher just based on the name. So shop him around. But I think you're right. You got to look in the Drake London area. The first player that comes to mind in a redraft format for me would be like Michael Pittman Jr. That'd be the first guy I go to. I think that you could find the overvalue in Garrett Wilson's name and maybe the undervalue in Michael Pittman Jr. hopefully. And then I'd work my way around that area down to Drake London and then.
Yeah, I would love there, or him, DJ Moore. Who else is in that range? Drake London. Those types of guys that people just aren't very high on at the moment for different reasons. I would probably just keep Garrett Wilson myself, though. I'm in Miami. It's raining. Hopefully it clears up. Thank you for the weather update there, Cap, for life. Keep us posted on that throughout the morning. PPR. Pick 2, Madison, Kelley, Sanders, and Zach Moss. I'm going Kelley versus the Vikings. And then I think I'm going Miles Sanders here. Zach Moss is the one I'm kind of teetering on for Sanders, but I think I'm going to go Kelley and Sanders.
I think I like, we talked about the weather of that game with potentially running the ball game with the Ravens. I kind of like Zach Moss here. I'm teetering between Kelley and Sanders.
Dude, Kelley plays Minnesota, bro.
I know, but
sit him.
he's just not good. He's just not good is the problem.
I don't even know if DeAndre Swift is, but he had 130 yards before.
Swift is good. Every time he gets the ball, he can make things happen. Kelley has gotten opportunities.
He had 130 rushing yards before being contacted against Minnesota. They are terrible.
Yeah, I guess I'll go Kelley. I mean, yeah, I'll go Kelley. The offensive line difference is huge, but
he had 175 rushing yards, and 45 of them were after being touched. That's just stupid. That's bad defense there. Yeah, I mean, I don't know, man. Minnesota's bad. Would I start MT, Jacoby, or Swift? For me, this is Michael Thomas.
This is Michael Thomas for me. I really like the matchup this week. Getting Michael Thomas in there.
Thanks, guys. I appreciate the thoughts. Wish I knew who that was. Hey, do I need to dial up NFL weather websites already? Hadn't hardly checked on that yet. Hey, I know we got rain in Miami right now, and we got big weather for the Baltimore Indianapolis game with that tropical storm coming up the East Coast. Addison or Flowers, PPR, I hear potential weather game in Baltimore. I'm going Addison no matter what here.
Yeah, I mean, Flowers' usage is better than Addison's, like at least in the sense of targets, especially OBJ out as well. It would seem that he would get some more targets. But the weather is a no-go for me. So I'll go Addison.
Chris says, need a running back 1 and 2. Zach Moss, Ford, Hunt, Rachaad White. So I don't think I'm playing Hunt here. I'm avoiding that game anyway. They play the Titans. Titans have given up like 96 rushing yards in 2 weeks. It's just that's any B tier running back. I'm just avoiding Tennessee at this point until we see something change. So I'm gonna go with Zach Moss and Rachaad White here.
I'm also going them. I'm not really necessarily I will say I'm not avoiding Ford because even though the Titans have been stout against the run, this is the toughest offensive line they played as well. So I kind of see that canceling each other out to an extent.
They were number 1 last year too, though.
I know, but this is the Browns like number 1 in rushing. So it's like kind of like the
Bears were.
Oh, okay. Well, what about offensive line, run blocking offensive line? Brown's got to be up there at like top 3, I would imagine. So it could cancel each other out to where it'd be an interesting matchup. I don't see them shutting down the run game. They have to keep it alive because Deshaun Watson just has not looked good this year. So they have to keep a balanced offense. But Zach Moss and White for me, nonetheless.
Marco from the future says, good afternoon, everyone.
Mm-hmm.
Last night he was in here saying, good morning, everyone.
Mm-hmm.
Matisse says, start Jaylen Warren or Michael Thomas in a 0.5 PPR. Michael Thomas.
Yeah, this is Michael Thomas easy for me.
Jets game has a 60% chance of rain. I don't mind rain. It's torrential downpour, high winds that really pushes me off of passing game. So I would be interested in that info. How hard are the rain's supposed to be? How are you guys doing? Hope everything is well. Hey, I'm tired, but I'm alive.
I look tired, but I really got like 11 hours of sleep. I don't know. Maybe that's why I look tired.
Holy cow. 11 hours ago, I was starting a stream.
Yeah, I go to bed early, man.
It was 12 hours ago, 9:30 last night. We went till about 12:30 in the morning.
Yeah.
Bill said it is redraft on his, so yeah. I would look at that tier and redraft, and I would still keep Garrett Wilson. We got to remember, poor Zach Wilson got thrusted into that first game with not planning on playing, and then last week had to face Micah Parsons, and that ain't no fun. We got Joe Mixon, Amari Cooper, Jacoby Myers. Who are we playing in the flex? Joe Mixon.
Yeah, gosh, what a bunch of good options. Joe Mixon for me as well.
Chris says flex Addison or Gabe Davis. I mean, I'm going with Addison. I think he's got the floor, and I think he's got a ceiling with as much as Minnesota's going to throw the ball, especially in what should be a big shootout against the Chargers.
Yeah, we had Addison and Gabe Davis in a question earlier with multiple others, and we both chose Addison.
Well, good. I'm glad I picked the same side. Baby Santa, what's up, dude? Every time this dude shows up, I laugh. So, what's good, fellas? Need to start either Godwin or Garrett Wilson this week. Also starting Mike Evans already, so the answer is Wilson, right? 0.5 PPR. I mean, I'm starting. Godwin has not done much with Baker Mayfield, so I would be starting Garrett Wilson even if you didn't have Evans in there.
I feel like he hasn't done bad either, if I'm not mistaken. Like, he might be double digits both weeks. Yeah, he has. It's 10. He's getting 10-10. Man, it's just a bad matchup for Garrett Wilson. We saw what New England was able to do to Tyreek Hill, hinder him for sure. I mean, he salvaged his week based on a little 1-yard touchdown. I'm going to start the better player in Garrett Wilson still, but it's close to me.
Randy says DeAndre Hopkins, Christian Kirk, or Drake London in a full PPR. Who is your ceiling play and floor play? That is a good question. Zay Jones is out. Christian Kirk might be my ceiling play here.
He might be my floor play.
He might be my floor play as well. I was getting ready to say the same thing. I think I go Christian Kirk here with Zay Jones out.
Yeah, I couldn't. I'm not right that often, I guess. But last week when I was like, I just feel like Christian Kirk, him getting shut out week 1, he was going to be utilized a ton. Week 2, he got utilized right away. First play of the game, they threw screen to him. Yeah, second play of the game, they threw something else.
He got the first reception in week 1 too.
Yeah, but no, he was getting peppered early in that game.
Dude, like Zay Jones got knocked out. That ain't no.
They made it.
No
victory. When did Zay Jones get knocked out?
When did Zay Jones get knocked out? It was early. Well,
I think that they made it
end of first quarter. I think.
I think they were making a point to get Christian Kirk more involved after week 1.
I don't know, man. Can't victory lap when somebody gets knocked out and has to miss the next week for the same thing. But I do go. Christian Kirk for sure. On that last one. Hey guys, do you know if Puka will play?
He's expected to.
It looks like he's going to. That's the best answer we can give you. Obviously, we're not there, but it sounds like that McVay expects him to play. And he had that oblique injury heading into week 2 as well. It's not something that just popped up. Marco from the future says picked up Ronnie Rivers and Trey Sermon in a dynasty league. Smart move. I mean, depends on who you dropped to get them. They're worth spots if you have open spots, but I mean, it just depends on who you let go.
I don't mind Ronnie Rivers, but Trey Sermon, I just don't see much of a future there.
Jerome Ford or Zach Moss? I'm going with Zach Moss here. We know he's going to get all the touches, and he doesn't play the Tennessee Titans.
Yep, I'll go with Zach Moss here.
It's so gross to say. We were talking about that last night. Like, we were picking Zach Moss over guys that are clearly better running backs, but just not in good situations. Who you starting, Love or Fields, Bryce?
Listen, after the press conferences this week, it's hard to avoid Justin Fields. I think he's just going to go out there and just play the way he plays. I don't think he gives a shit on staying in the pocket. And he's going to have to play this week against Kansas City. Like, this is like kind of a statement game for him to show he's not crappy, I guess. So I'm just going to expect him to put it all out there. So I'm going to go with Fields. I'm going to go with Fields this week. I'm going to give him another shot.
I mean, I feel the same way. And I've never seen a team in so much turmoil with everything that happened this week. Since the Raiders with Gruden and Ruggs and the cornerback that they released that they had drafted in the first round the year before and everything else that happened with the Raiders. And what happened? That team flipped it and ended up making the playoffs I'm not saying that's what the Bears are going to do, but that's what I'm hoping for as a Bears fan, is that this like galvanizes them as a team and they flip a switch. But also, Justin Fields' comments were taken way out of context unless you listen to the whole thing.
Yeah.
But he is right. He was playing like a robot. I'm going with Fields here. I think he's going to run for 70 yards today, whatever. Nico Collins or DK? It looks like DK is going to play. I got that notification here before we went live. So where are you going? You going Nico or DK here?
I'll go with DK. I'll go with DK Metcalf. Yeah, I'm gonna stick with the better player in DK Metcalf. But I like Nico Collins. I really do. So.
I'm in the same boat. I do start DK here, but Nico is slowly, not even slowly now. I mean, he's moving up quickly. My boards pretty quick.
Yep.
Joe says, how low did I sell Allen in IFL? Wanted Bijan, but Rick didn't have picks available.
What would you have added to it? A second, if anything?
Yeah, I don't know.
Bijan and Allen are probably pretty equal in Dynasty at this point. Bijan looks like he's not from this planet when he cuts.
Yeah, I don't even know if I'm moving Bijan at this point in that league. Like, I didn't plan on being a high-end contender in year one. My idea was to kind of be in the middle, have a decent team, but hold my picks because I love the Superflex rookie drafts next year. There's just going to be so much value. And if I finish in the bottom 6, I have a shot at a quarterback or it's a tight end premium, Brock Bowers, Marvin Harrison. Like, there's so many options in that draft. So I'm definitely not giving up a first. Yeah. I probably wouldn't give up a second on top because I think when you get into the mid-second, you're looking at first-round picks for most years if we do end up with 6 or 7 quarterbacks going in the first round of rookie drafts. Yeah. So much talent in next year's.
For those listening, he sold Josh Allen for Breece Hall and a first-round pick next year. I think it's a win-win, I guess. I mean, I think that's a top dynasty asset and a valuable pick for the team he traded him to, for what he received, and then the guy that got him got Josh Allen, which is always a good thing. So I think it was an even trade. So
yeah, I mean, if I was gonna lean one side, I would lean the Breece Hall first, just because again that may be Breece Hall plus, Bo Nix. That would be a pretty good return. If Bo Nix pans out. So I think it's a really good trade for you, but I do think it's a really good trade for both sides because of where they're at and what they're trying to do. So I do think that was pretty good. Is Aaron Jones playing? Think he will be limited at all? I asked the Flowers versus Addison question as an insurance in case Jones misses. Looks like Jones is going to play. As far as I know, that's what the thought is coming out of Green Bay, is that Jones will play. And if Jones is playing, he's a must start for me. I'm easily starting him over Flowers and Addison. A.J. Dillon has been pretty bunk so far this year. Didn't do anything last week in his opportunity with Jones out. So they need Aaron Jones on that offense. They win that game against Atlanta if they have Aaron Jones.
Yeah, I'm going Aaron Jones here as well. I mean, it looks like he's playing. It looks like he and Christian Watson, I would assume, are playing. Both practiced at the end of the week. Yeah, both practiced at the end of the week. They just, they're at the point there they don't really probably need to practice full go all week if they got little hampering issues.
Marco from the future says start 2. Akers, he's out because he ain't even going to address this week, I don't think.
Yep.
Stevenson, Zamir White, Ronnie Rivers, Spiller, Sermon, McLaughlin.
Okay, so there's an easy one here.
Stevenson.
Yeah. He doesn't really even need to be asked in a lot of questions. So Stevenson.
I think McLaughlin's the only other one you can start, right? Like,
oh my goodness. Yeah, I don't know. I mean, I guess, yeah. I mean, Ronnie Rivers could be considered over McLaughlin because McLaughlin still has Samaje Perine and Javonte Williams in front of him, where Rivers only has Josh Kelley. So I guess you could just hope that Rivers gets a little bit more usage than McLaughlin.
Unless it's Spiller.
I don't think Spiller's been healthy scratches. I don't know if Spiller's their number 2.
He
before.
he was injured week 1, so I don't know.
I don't know. Yeah, I mean,
health-wise, but
oh geez, you can flip a coin on those two for me.
I'm going Drake London on this one for Lennox. Drake London versus DeAndre Swift.
Yeah, I definitely am interested to see what the role is for the Philadelphia running backs now that Kenneth Gainwell is going to be back with DeAndre Swift, who definitely earned himself more touches than he got week 1. Until I get some clarity, Drake London for me as well.
That's exactly what we were saying last night with that whole situation. Gainwell's not going to 0, that's for sure. He was their number 1 running back in week 1, got hurt.
He'll be the starter.
He probably, yeah, and he probably would have put up 150 yards against Minnesota last week too. I'm just not convinced that any running back's not going to. They're so bad. Right? I was just wondering if I should hedge my bets on either Tampa receiver getting a TD. One of them, if not both, are bound to score, right? I don't know. Just my thoughts. Might be self-imploding. Hey, fantasy will do that to you. We're only in week 3, and I'm self-imploding in areas too. So I definitely get that. Okay, Rob says stash one. We got Mingo, Josh Downs, Elijah Moore. Which one of these guys are you stashing?
Man, it's either Mingo or Elijah Moore. I'll go with Elijah Moore. He's actually getting a lot of targets these first couple weeks. So I'll take that. It's close with Mingo though.
If we're talking a redraft stash, then I'm probably going Elijah Moore. If we're talking a dynasty stash, It's definitely Mingo for me.
Yeah, I agree.
Madison or Miles Sanders? It's easily Miles Sanders for me. Madison's probably never going to be the answer for me. And Miles Sanders is getting some targets out of the backfield as well.
Yeah, I'll go Miles Sanders. What?
Oh, that was back to when he picked up Ronnie Rivers and Dan Phillips says, thanks, guys. Jamie says 1 running back spot. We have Joshua Kelley, Gus Edwards, Jalen Warren, Dameon Pierce. For me, this I want to go Joshua Kelley versus Minnesota, but I'm going Gus Edwards here. We know he's got 2 touchdown upside in that Baltimore Ravens running back room. Whoever's the running back, the lead, always has multi-touchdown upside with that offense.
Yeah, via rap sheet just now said Jalen Warren is expected to get more work this week. Jahmyr Gibbs should get bulk of Lions work, and Saquon Barkley has a chance to play next week. Even with that news about Jalen Warren, you went Josh Kelley here.
No, I went Gus Edwards.
Oh, you Gus Edwards. I'm sorry. Yes, I'm also going Gus Edwards here as well. So, yep.
For me, it would be Gus Edwards, Joshua Kelley, Dameon Pierce, Jalen Warren.
Yeah.
But Dameon Pierce hasn't done anything this year either. Start 2, Rachaad White, Mostert, Godwin, Nacua, Collins, or Gabe Davis. And this is easily Mostert and Nacua for me.
Yeah. Nacua is the easiest one by far.
Yes.
And then, I'll go Mostert. If Rachaad White had a little bit better matchup, I could consider that. But, it's Mostert and Nacua.
Mostert literally is a start unless he's hurt.
Yep, I got him in some dynasty leagues for cheap.
Higgins, Kirk, Myers, Atwell, Dobbs, Bourne, Claypool, Rondale. Start 3. So we can take Claypool out. We can take Dobbs out, I think, right?
Take Rondale.
That's what I meant. The first one I said. I don't remember what I said. Kirk is the easiest
Claypool.
Start. Kirk is the easiest start.
I'm going the first 3. Higgins, Kirk, Myers.
That's where I'm at as well.
Yeah. Yep.
Jamie says, hi from Brazil. Dude, that's awesome. We appreciate you tuning in from Brazil. 1 running back, half point PPR. This is the one we just answered this one, right? Yes. 2 above. Yep. So, hey, we appreciate you coming in from Brazil. Just so everybody knows, right now we're about 10 minutes behind on the questions, but as we get busier this morning, we can drop to
we got a super chat.
45 minutes behind. Okay, so you're going to click that, and I'll keep my spot up here. All right, Dragon says, start Samaje or Kendrick Miller. My running backs are demolished. We understand the running back position has been demolished. For me, I'm going Kendrick Miller here. It's unknown. It's a risk, but we know Samaje is going to be splitting with two other running backs, with Javonte getting the majority. Kendrick Miller may get 60%, 65% of the work, and he's a talent that I really, really like. So I'm gonna take the risk there, but it is a risk. But I mean, neither of them really have a good outlook, I guess.
Yeah, it's Kendrick Miller for me. I'm definitely willing to risk this one. Samaje Perine has a little bit lower than 50% snap percentage, and even then, he's getting around 8 touches a week. With Javonte Williams coming off this injury, I expect that to just continue decreasing for Perine and continue increasing for Williams. So it's kind of easily Kendrick Miller for me.
Aaron Jones.
Craig Wayne.
Garrett says standard league, flex spot, Pacheco, Swift, Collins, tight end Hunter Henry or Laporta. So right now you're starting Hunter Henry. I don't think we're gonna have any debate on that, right?
No,
his usage in that England offense is just too good, and he's the red zone threat. I'm going Nico at the flex spot.
Yeah, I know it's standard, so you really go touchdown upside, which you think would lean Pacheco, but they just really don't. They just throw the ball so much. It doesn't matter if they're on the 1-yard line, the 30-yard line. So it's Nico Collins for me as well.
Swift is going to bite me again because I've never picked him. He's gonna have
I don't mind Swift, but I got to get some clarity first.
Yeah, Gainwell being back's big. Sit one of these. Rachaad White, Zach Moss, Amari Cooper, Pittman, DJ Moore. Who are you sitting out of that group?
I think I'm going to sit. Oh, man. It's definitely not any of the wide receivers. It's one of the running backs. And it's just like, it would be Zach Moss, but this matchup does kind of suck for Rachaad White.
And Moss was surprisingly used heavy in the pass game too, which I
never really thought Zach Moss was bad. I just never really thought he was that good either. But usage is kind of what can separate these guys at this level that we're asking this question at when it comes to these running backs. The weather helps Zach Moss, so I will go with Zach Moss. Or I'm sorry, sitting Rachaad White. So starting the other.
Yeah, I'm sitting Rachaad White as well. I agree. Hunter Henry, Perry. We're going Hunter Henry here.
Yep.
Just see the Chubb knee injury. How does he only have a torn MCL? Yeah, it's crazy.
That's great news, though. Good.
Yeah, I love it for him, especially since that was the knee he already had a horrific injury to.
Yeah, could easily be back next year, back to what he was. Definitely not career.
Craig, you're starting Aaron Jones.
Yeah, Aaron Jones here easily.
I'm going to run Fields out there one more time. Come on, man. I need a big week. Hey.
He needs it. Fields needs a big week.
I need Fields to have a big week. And it's not even fantasy related. It's because of all this. All this is Justin. This is all Justin. All of this. Autographs here and there and everywhere. And I've lost so much money in the past 14 days. It hurts so bad. But I did get my rookie ticket variation auto in this week. Redemption. Mm-hmm. He's filled 2 of my redemptions in the past month. He waited till they weren't worth anything. Asshole. Would you flex James Conner or Zay Flowers? 14 teams, PPR. We are going James Conner here, I believe. That weather in the Baltimore game is one thing, but James Conner is a top 12 running back this year. We talked about it last week. What did I say all last Sunday?
I got him in all my contending leagues.
Put James Conner in there.
I went and sought him out this offseason or right after the draft in all my contending leagues because I knew that his usage and it's just how he is. Like I expected it. I will say this is some tremendous options for a 14-team league. That's a pretty good depth situation you got there, though. But James Conner.
Dude, I love that Ken Miller is coming in to ask if he should play Kendrick Miller. And you should. I think I start Kendre Miller over A.J. Dillon with Aaron Jones back and A.J. Dillon not playing very well right now. I'm going Kendre Miller here.
Yep, Kendre Miller for me.
I hope that's the Kendre Miller, and he shortened his name to be Sly, and now he's a big RotoHeat fan because we picked him. Hard to follow you guys and watch the game at the same time.
Is there a game? What game?
He's in the future. It's probably soccer, which isn't really fun to watch anyway.
Hey, it's called football.
Oh, my bad. Football. Football. Bad Sports says, in 2019, I snatched Herbert off waivers and won the ship. 2023, I snatching CJ off waivers. Don't be surprised if the Jags lose. Okay.
Yeah. I've been the biggest. I thought CJ Stroud was the best quarterback coming into this draft. So I'm the biggest supporter, biggest fan on that wagon. So I'm gonna ride it until the wheels fall off.
I mean, putting anybody else in the start-sit question with Calvin Johnson is just ridiculous.
Hey, listen, you got prime Wes Welker back in the days where he was getting.
You are not starting
yards.
You are not starting Wes Welker over Calvin Johnson. Get the out of here.
I wonder if there was a year. I bet there was a year where Calvin got outproduced by Wes.
You are never putting Wes Welker in your lineup over Calvin Johnson. You're just not doing it. I don't care. Don't tell me that you might. Parker says, biased. Should I start Pitts or Henry?
Oh, this is easy.
Parker, you can't start Pitts right now.
I have a sneaky suspicion that this is like Pitts' big week. With that being said, I'm easily starting Henry here.
London calling at Detroit or Michael Thomas and some Green Bay wind. I'm not worried. 14 miles an hour, I'm not really worried about. These quarterbacks can cut through 14 mile an hour. I'm going Michael Thomas here.
Yeah, I definitely want London in my lineups this week, but I really like Michael Thomas in my lineups this week. I expect Jair to follow around Chris Olave and give him some problems, which really opens up the door for Michael Thomas.
Michael Thomas doesn't need the door open for him. He's
Man, he started off so hot last week, and I needed that 21-point game from him. And he was on track to easily get it, and then just didn't do shit the second half. I was so mad. I was like, ugh.
Okay, we need to start two of these in the flex. We've got Kyren, who is in. You can't not play Kyren right now. We got James Cook, Dillon, Mooney, Atwell, Burks, Addison. I'm going with the two running backs at the front here with Kyren and James Cook.
Yep. Another guy I've been on this whole offseason was James Cook, so I'm glad that he nullified the effects I had on Cam Akers. So at least I got one of them right.
It's still only 2 weeks.
Don't stop. You're going to eventually stop hating.
Am I insane for wanting to start Thielen over DK this week? I mean, I wouldn't say insane. I'm starting DK over Thielen, but I understand. I want Thielen in my lineups if I can get him in there, but if you can't, then I'm fine with sitting him. But I'm starting DK. What about you?
Yeah, I'm starting DK here, but I don't think it's insane. Thielen had a good week this week. I would expect the two veterans to rely on each other, Andy Dalton and him, but DK Metcalf's a freak of nature. I'm starting him still.
Cruz says I need to start 2 out of the 3. He's got Miles Sanders, Kyren Williams, and Brian Robinson. So which of the 3 are you going to sit? I'm sitting Sanders.
I think I'm also going to sit Sanders here. Kyren Williams, the easiest start.
Yep.
Yeah, I'll sit Sanders. B-Rob's usage is really, really nice. He's not completely absent from the pass game. It's minimal, but man, if they get in the red zone or inside the 5, it's B-Rob all day. So.
He's got some decent work in the pass game this year, and he's even got a receiving touchdown.
Yeah, it's not a ton, but it's enough to kind of sprinkle in with how much usage he gets in the run game. It's kind of nice.
Well, yeah, it's not, what was that little J.D. McKissick that was there and got the most targets or whatever? Yeah. It's not that level, but, it's right. It's good, especially for him, because I thought Antonio Gibson was going to get all that with the enemy coming in. I thought he was going to play the McKinnon role. Who should I choose? Amari Cooper or Alexander Madison?
Amari Cooper.
Yeah, this one is easily Amari Cooper for me. If you guys see me answer Alexander Madison, probably call 911. if I ever say put Madison in your lineup. Something's probably wrong with me. I've probably been drugged. People are taking advantage of me. Is Aaron playing? Is Aaron Jones playing? Should I play Breece Hall or Javonte over him? No, Aaron Jones for me.
Geez, I want to know who's your two starters if you got Breece Hall and Javonte as your backups?
No joke.
No, you should not play either of them over him. And he is looking like he's going to play.
I would say that in most weeks, especially right now when we have the injuries we have, Aaron Jones might be my third or fourth running back right now if he's on the field behind CMC, and then other guys match up filling in that area as well. But Aaron Jones is going to be huge for that Green Bay offense if they want to.
I knew Marco was going to ask a question about Madison. That way you'd have to say the answer because he put a retired player or put Burkhead in there.
Start 3 in PPR: Gibbs, James Cook, Kenneth Walker, Kyren Williams, Mike Williams. This is crazy, but Mike Williams is completely out of the question for me. I'm going with Gibbs, Walker, Williams, and Kyren Williams.
Gibbs, Cook, Kyren Williams.
Sitting like the number 3 running back on the season, huh? You like James Cook that much that you're going to sit Kenneth Walker?
Hey, listen, I like Kenneth Walker and all, but it goes,
write it down and make it as big as you want it to be.
No, it's only going to be $5. It's not comfortably James Cook. It's definitely
put it down close. Put it down.
I'll do
Bryce
Cook
paying
versus
me installments for the next 30 years.
I'll do Cook versus Walker. You got a super chat.
Click that thing, and then I'll keep Marco's of it. Thomas, we appreciate you. We love you, man. PPR, London or McLaurin in the flex? This is a great question. So who are you going with here? Are you going with Terry McLaurin or Drake London?
I have to go with Terry McLaurin. The Falcons are just so heavy in the run game that not only does it create less opportunities for the wide receivers because the clock is consistently ticking. Their games are shorter than the rest of them. But Terry McLaurin is also a better wide receiver right now, in my opinion. So I will stick with Terry McLaurin. But this is relatively close for me. I assume you agree.
Yeah, I was shaking my head and I forgot I didn't talk. Yeah. Right? Click it again. Yeah, I feel the same exact way. I don't have anything to add to that. It's just the volume of the Atlanta offense with the running backs that they've got. And London is probably going to be up and down week to week on the number of targets, depending on all of that. But McLaurin is still the best receiver for the Washington team, even though people will. I could have swore I won bets last week of McLaurin over Dotson, but I don't know.
Not on here, not on here at least, but you might have.
I think you forgot to write them down. We might have to replay the.
I write them down every time.
Pastinko, James Cook, Rodriguez, Sean Tucker, Zamir start 2. It's James Cook and Pacheco.
Yeah, this one's.
Marco's just toying with us now.
Yeah, Pachinko.
Who to flex? Rashad White, Zay Flowers, T. Higgins without Burrow, Damian Pierce, or Jerry Jeudy. Go Tyson Bagent. Shane was in here all last night saying go Tyson Bagent. Tyson Bagent is not good, guys. I'm sorry.
I went to go actually pick him up in a lot of leagues yesterday and happened to find a lot of Bears fans have him in some dynasty leagues.
I picked him up because if Fields gets hurt, but
yeah,
they are not starting Tyson Bagent over Justin Fields. That is, I said it last night. That is an admission of just being completely terrible. If you sit Justin Fields after not trading him before the draft and drafting Bryce Young, if you end up starting your undrafted quarterback over the guy that you literally put the back of the franchise, the franchise on his back, you have admitted that you completely failed the organization. If you do that, it's not happening. But anyways, Who are we flexing? Rachaad White, Zay Flowers, T. Higgins, Dameon Pierce, or Jerry Jeudy?
Burrow's not officially out.
He's
either.
Probably out though. He's probably not playing. But I'm still playing T. Higgins here.
I am honestly inclined to throw in Jerry Jeudy. I mean, this game, that game, I want any other wide receivers on the team that's playing against the Dolphins, just because nobody's going to be able to just shut them down completely. They're going to have to try and keep up. And man, I just feel like this is a big Jerry Jeudy. You know what? I'm going to go Jerry Jeudy. I'm going to go Jerry Jeudy this week.
Hey, he's getting spicy.
I
like it. I have a question to ask everybody that's watching here. We'd like to break our record for most people watching the stream at the same time. So if you guys could drop a like and help us get to 60 viewers, that would be awesome. We would appreciate it. And we will continue answering your questions. And Thomas is up next. Full PPR, pick 2 at running back. Start Ford, Kelley, Najee Harris, or A-Shane. I mean, I might actually say Ford for once.
It's Ford and Kelley for me.
I mean,
I do not think Najee Harris is the best running back on his team. He literally looks like Trent Richardson 2.0. It's literally following the same path. Like, he looked good his first year. Second year, he still looked okay, but it wasn't that good. And then now he just looks like he looks slow. I don't know.
Najee has not looked good as a runner his entire career. I mean, he hasn't had in his 2 years, he has not had, I think his high is 3.9 yards per carry. His value in his rookie year was from the passing game. He had 90 some targets. That dropped to like 50 some last year. And then it's even worse this year. Najee is if you have options, you cannot start him right now. It's that bad. So I'm with you. I'm going Kelley and I'm going Ford. I hate playing Ford, but we haven't seen A-Shane even get involved yet. So can't start him, but I'm going Ford and Kelley as well.
We have a super chat.
Yep. I saw that. Go ahead and click on that bad boy. Daniel, we appreciate you so much. Are we going with Hayden Hurst or what's his first name? Dalton? Durham Smythe. At tight end, normally I would just put in Hurst. Feel with Waddle out and the Broncos not being good against tight ends, Smythe adds upside, higher upside. I think these guys are close enough that with Waddle out, I can agree. I can go with Smythe here and take the opportunity on the high-flying offense. I like that idea myself. I would probably do that as well.
These guys actually have the same amount of targets each week. 7 week 1, 3 week 2. With that being said, I'll take the one on the more exciting offense. Durham Smythe for me as well.
Yes, and we're back to Joey Boy. And thank you again, the super chat. Do we have another one? Because I got one still showing up on my screen.
No, the one at the top, that's the one I just clicked on.
Okay, I didn't know if there was back-to-back ones there.
We're good.
Joey says, is Watson a must start if he is a go? I have Flowers, Godwin, and Nico as well. I wouldn't say must start. I'm probably starting him in most situations, but I would not argue against Nico over Watson. And Watson's first week back and Nico getting the volume he's getting.
Yeah, I think I would start Nico this week, just based on recent productivity. And Watson is coming off an injury, so he could be somewhat limited. So let me start Nico, and if Watson has a pretty good week, I would definitely feel comfortable with him moving forward. A lot of good options here, though.
Perry wants to know, are you going with Deshaun Watson or Russell Wilson today? Wilson has that high volume matchup. I'm going with Wilson. He's putting up fantasy points, that's for sure.
Yep. Yeah, the Hail Mary definitely helped a lot last week too. Wilson for me, he's kind of easily.
Stop watching Association football a while ago. It's the championship game for the Elf.
I don't know what that is.
Are you talking about what's his name's Elf?
I'm gonna look up what is that.
I have no idea. European League football. Elf.
Oh.
Joshua Chong says Mostert, Madison, Swift, Najee, Ford, Mike Evans, Mike Williams, Zay Flowers, Amari Cooper, Josh Reynolds, Nico Collins, pick 2 running backs, 3 wide receivers, 1 flex. So 2 running backs right off the bat. Mostert, easy.
Ford.
I'm going Swift over Ford.
Okay. I'm going Mostert Ford.
So I'm Mostert Swift. 3 wide receivers. Mike Evans is in there easy.
Yeah.
Mike Williams.
I'm going Mike Evans, Amari Cooper, Nico Collins, and then I'll put Mike Williams as the flex.
That's what I'm doing as well. I missed Collins at the end. I hadn't got there yet. I love Josh Reynolds. He's a great option this week too. But I'm with you. I'm going with Evans, Williams, Cooper, Collins. Then we're different. He's going with Ford. I'm going with Swift. And we're both going with Mostert. Loaded question. Leon says McPherson, Joseph, or McManus, Mayer.
You got your kicker rankings?
I'm going right now.
I'll be honest. I don't pay attention to kickers at all. I just kind of have one on like one redraft league, and I just put him in there. And then when he's on his bye week, I switch him out.
It looks like McManus. I have McManus at 9, and that would be the highest. I have McPherson at 12, Joseph at 15, and Maher is down a little bit lower.
I will go Brandon McManus. They are playing the Dolphins, so that could be a high-scoring game. It should be.
Kickers are so dumb. I don't even know why I'm ranking them. Marco says Godwin, Lockett, Mooney, Atwell, Burks, or Addison. We need to start 2. Lockett is easily in there. I think I go Lockett and Atwell, to be honest with you. No, Addison. Lockett, Addison.
Yeah. I'm gonna go with Lockett and Addison. It's kind of close between Addison, Godwin, and Atwell, though, for me. But I'll go Lockett and Addison.
Dan Phillips says, you guys think it's safe to start Goff over Fields?
Definitely safer.
Yeah. I would.
But the upside, I think, goes with it has to go with Fields.
The upside is easily Fields.
Yeah.
I mean, this is a guy that put up 40 bombs 2 weeks in a row last year and led the league and led fantasy in quarterback scoring for a nice stretch of the season last year. So hopefully they get back to that after this crazy week. I mean, I don't know if you guys heard, but they had $100,000 worth of equipment stolen from Soldier Field. The guys drove in and then drove it out of the garage. Like, what are we doing, Chicago? It sounds like running backs coming into Chicago.
That had to be some sort of inside job, too. Like, that had to be.
I don't know.
They know where the keys are at and everything. Oh, that's weird.
I'm starting Fields over Goff, but I understand if you start Goff over him. I get it.
Yeah.
Start 3.5 PPR, Watson, Flowers, Nico, Godwin, Kelley. I'm going Kelley, Nico, Watson, probably. Or Godwin. Nico, Godwin, Kelley. I could see I go with Watson probably for the upside over Godwin, but Kelley and Nico I think are the easy 2 for me.
Yeah, if Watson's full go, you don't hear any limitations. It's Watson, Nico, Kelley for me. If there's any sort of limitations with Watson, I'd go Godwin.
Tanner says pick 2, George Pickens, Brian Robinson, Alexander Madison, Amari Cooper, PPR. I'm going Brian Robinson and Amari Cooper.
I am following suit. B-Rob and Coop.
I'm starting Burkhead. Give me Burkhead. Amari Cooper or Olave.
Bad matchup for Olave, but I'm not sitting him.
I'm not sitting Olave either.
Nope.
I'm not sitting him.
I get it. I get the question, though. I get the question. I understand the concern.
I don't want to sit either of them, if we're being completely honest.
Yeah.
But I'm going Olave there as well. I have Allen, QB, Pollard, Chubb, Godwin, Christian Watson, Hawkinson, Josh Reynolds. Should I trade Nacua and Mostert for Derrick Henry?
No. Definitely not comfortable enough with the wide receivers you have to trade away Puka. And honestly, I don't know if Mostert's a downgrade from Henry in redraft. Much of a downgrade, I should say. Yeah,
no, I'm sticking there too. It's tough, but I want to see here.
I get. Yeah, I mean, if you don't have another running back, I guess you might have. You'd have Mostert in Pollard. Yeah. Nah.
I'm looking something up real quick because in week 1, Derrick Henry was actually out-snapped by rookie Tyjae Spears. And I haven't looked to see what that split was in week 2, but Derrick Henry, week 1, he had 30 snaps to Tyjae Spears, 34. Week 2, Henry had 46, so he may have taken that over big time.
Yeah, he had 29 touches last week.
Spears only had 24, so he went from 34 to 24, but it's 58 to 58 to 76. So yeah, Henry took it back well over in week 2. Yeah, but I'll stick with Mostert. I want that Dolphins offense, and as long as Mostert's healthy, he's getting points. Best defense, best passing offense, best rushing offense, the best kicker to start this week. Need that for German fantasy manager. I don't know, Marco. You're getting out of line. Okay, so that's the same question. Remember, everybody, you only got to ask once. We go in order. Unless you super chat, just like you're going to see right now, they skip the line. So VIP for Tyler Sperry, Godwin or Kirk or Pittman. Do whether I already have Ridley and Ingram.
This is Pittman.
Yeah, but it's that freaking hurricane weather, man. That tropical storm weather. Mm-hmm. I want to see, what is it? Like, what do we have for estimates on wind and what is kind of rain is it?
Let's look on Twitter.
Is it torrential downpour, 50-mile-an-hour winds? Then we're staying away from the passing game. If it's, 15, 20-mile-an-hour winds and, like, just a solid rain, then I'm probably going Pittman. But I really don't want to have Ridley, Ingram, and Kirk in my lineup. That's a lot. You're either going to score a ton or it could hurt if they struggle. Might go. I'm probably going Kirk. I've picked Kirk.
This is 45 minutes ago. There'll be some light rain hanging around for the Ravens game this afternoon. However, the wind should not be a big factor. Gust in the Pittman. 10 to 15 mile per hour range.
Pittman, unless that news changes, but that's a good Pittman. Sign for that game.
Yeah, Pittman for me as well.
Wild Card Loft says, I have Allen at QB. Pollard. Okay, we did that one. Where am I at? Yep. There we go. Ingram or Laporta at tight end?
Evan Ingram for me.
Evan Ingram for me as well. A. Justin says, Zach Moss, Kelley, Swift, Sanders, White. So we picking one. If we're picking one out of here, I'm going with Kelley, I think, against Minnesota. Oh, need two. He drops that right below.
Okay.
Need two. Kelley and Sanders for me.
Kelley and Moss for me. Ugh.
That got real ugly real quick, didn't it?
Yeah. I didn't know how to answer that one.
It sounded like you threw up in your mouth. Did I really just say that?
Yeah.
Who to flex? Terry McLaurin, Jerome Ford, Damian Pierce, DeAndre Hopkins.
Scary Terry for me.
It is Scary Terry for me as well, with DeAndre Hopkins being a close second.
I would agree.
In PPR, Kendrick Bourne, Schuster, A.J. Dillon. I'm going with Kendrick Bourne.
This is kind of easily Kendrick Bourne for me. Juju Smith-Schuster might be the worst decision the Patriots made in a while. Letting him go and signing him basically for the same contract that Jacoby Myers got in Vegas.
Menace says Amari Cooper or Olave.
We had this one.
Oh, was that an ass? Oh,
Yeah,
he dropped.
yeah.
This is the third time. Hopefully, don't do it again. Flex says, which two backs would you start? Najee, Pacheco, Josh Kelley, or Jerome Ford? Which two you going with? Josh Kelley's the easy answer here. I'm probably going Josh Kelley and Pacheco.
I think I'm going to go with Josh Kelley and Pacheco as well. It's close between Pacheco and Ford for me.
You guys always get my like. Thank you. Flex says, what the hell? That dude has the same three backs as me. Should I keep Charbonnet stashed?
Sure.
Sure. Convincing answers from RotoHeat.
I mean,
sure.
Yeah, it just depends. Like, what are your options to pick up? Is this redraft or dynasty?
It is a loaded question.
It's got to be redraft, I imagine.
Yeah. I mean, I am, unless I have a really good option to get off of waivers, but I think his usage from week 1 to week 2 grew quite a bit. I think we're going to continue to see that as the season progresses. So I'm not giving up on him yet. Cat City says, what's up, y'all? What's up? Cat. Smokey says, pick 2, Pacheco, Joshua Kelley, Rashad White. We're picking 2. Joshua Kelley and Rashad White for me.
Yeah, I'll go Kelley and White.
Did we just contradict ourselves?
Was White in the question above?
No, he wasn't.
Okay, I think so.
Sometimes my mind does not work. He wasn't in there. I thought we contradicted ourselves for a second.
I would have went White before. I was like, wait, because Pacheco really didn't catch the ball much.
Full PPR, start Mike Williams or Nico Collins.
I'm going Nico Collins here.
I'm going Mike Williams. Mike Williams versus the Vikings is juicy. I'm going to go Mike Williams there. I don't love it. I think it's close. Dude, how are we here?
This is interesting.
This is a good question, and that's why I'm saying, how are we here? How did we get here with Pitts?
Did you see the video of like him getting open like multiple times throughout that game and just didn't get the ball thrown to him?
He's a freak.
I really hope that he just finds a new home or they run a different system for him one day. I don't know. Man. I'm gonna go with Pitts. I'm gonna go with Pitts this week. I don't think the Falcons they might not be in a situation where they can run the ball the entire game. Just with the fact that the Lions can score a lot. Gotta hope maybe they go up 2 scores and force the Falcons to have to throw the ball more. Good should be a good matchup for Pitts. I mean, every matchup is really good. With Watson coming back, that could potentially, silent, die down Musgrave's usage, even though it's not crazy anyway. So I'm just gonna go Pitts. I'm gonna go with the better player here. I don't know. It's just hard to pick, justify it. I guess
we're having a lot of conversation about Pitts and Musgrave.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm going Pitts too. It's dirty. It's sad that we even have to debate this, but I agree. Christian Watson coming back, that does not help Musgrave. That's for sure. I don't know, man. Trade Pitts, would you, Atlanta? Like the deadline, just get him out of there. Get him to a team that appreciates his talent.
Dolphins.
Oh, wait. We did it. I skipped it. What am I doing here? Javonte Williams or Joshua Kelley?
I will go Javonte Williams here.
I'm going Javonte Williams as well. Willie says Hopkins, Watkins, or Bateman. If it was week 1 and that was Sammy Watkins, we'd probably go with him, but it's not.
Who is that?
I don't know. Is it Watson? Is that who it's supposed to be?
Maybe Watson, yeah. I mean, even if it was, I would imagine whoever he's trying to say is not going to beat out Hopkins in our decision here.
Nope, I'm going Hopkins. Yep. Cat City says he's from the future. It might be something that hasn't hit our time yet.
Yeah.
Need 2 wide receivers in a flex. Garrett Wilson, DJ Moore, Zay Flowers, Breece Hall, James Cook. I'm going with Wilson and Moore at wide receiver.
James Cook.
James Cook for me as well. Chad says, good morning, guys. Breece Hall or Joshua Kelley in the flex?
Josh Kelley.
Josh Kelley for me as well. Should I flex London, Pacheco, Rashad White, or Warren? I have James Cook and Javonte in my running back 1 and 2. My wide receivers are Jefferson, Higgins, and JSN.
Mm-hmm. He puts it right below, I think. JSN would be. Oh, he didn't. I would be having London in over JSN for sure.
I'm playing London and Rashad White over JSN, and then in that flex that he's asking about. Is that what you're doing?
Yeah. So he's just asking for one, right? So I'm
but I'm saying I'd sit JSN, play London, and then play Rashad White in the flex.
At the flex. Yep. 100%.
Kickers are for babies and commies. I just glad we can't play with punters and long snappers too.
I'm in a league. Right. I tried.
We got kicker. Fields, Staffords, or Stroud for Joe Lindsay.
It's Fields.
I'm playing Fields. I can't do it. Maybe I'm a sucker. I might be a sucker, but after everything that happened this week, I'm putting them in my lineup. Him and DJ Moore, get them in there. Let them play some backyard football and have some fun and watch the fantasy points pile up. Tyler Algier or Gus the Bus?
I'll go with Gus. I'll go with Gus Edwards.
That's where I'm at too. Too many touches there. Justice Hill out. Melvin Gordon ain't coming in and taking a big workload. And I'm just trying to speak that into existence. Don't believe what I say.
It'll probably be Lamar. Just rushing for 150 and 3 touchdowns.
BDD says full PPR, Amari or Nico at the flex?
Amari Cooper.
I believe we had this one, or at least they've been in the same thing a couple times. I'm going Amari. I don't love it. Deshaun Watson needs to get his together, but he probably should have done that like 4 years ago before he started getting massages. 1 PPR flex, London, Swift, or Michael Thomas? Michael Thomas for me.
MT for me.
Wild card lot. Thanks, guys. Much appreciated. We appreciate you. We appreciate everybody stopping by, and we dare you to show a little bit of support and thanks for answering these questions by dropping a like on the video. Brian Orticelli says, which 2 do I start? Kenneth Gainwell, Sam Laporta, James Conner.
James Conner's the easy one.
Yes, sir. I'm sitting Laporta.
Yeah, I think you have to. Yeah.
Running back 1 flex PPR, James Cook, Joe Mixon, Miles Sanders, Najee Harris. We're picking 2, Mixon and Cook for me.
Yep. James Cook, Joe Mixon.
Good to hear for Ravens D. I don't remember. Was that the weather we were talking about? Maybe?
Yeah.
To make my case for Badgett, the 49ers traded 3 first-round tricks for Trey Lance, 7th-round pick for Purdy, beat him out. Granted, injury created an opportunity, but the way Fields runs, I like the chances. If you watch Tyson Badgett in the preseason, he did not look anything like Purdy, and he did not look Purdy at all. I know they had some touchdowns that people got excited about, but he's playing against 3rd, 4th stringers and not very good. Nice. Did not expect you to say Sanders. Morning, fellas. Need help on my QB, Stafford or Fields, and start 2. Nacua, Collins, Flowers, Cooper. Appreciate, bros. And for flex, BBQ ribs or carne asada? Hey, I like the food questions. Okay, so we both said Fields over Stafford in an earlier question, so we know that's going there. We know Nacua is a start, and we just took Cooper over Nico. So I think we've narrowed this down to Fields, Nacua, Cooper, right?
Yep.
And then for the flex, what are you going with? You going with the ribs or the carne asada?
I have specialized in ribs myself, so I'm going barbecue ribs for sure.
I'm on the flip side. I'm going carne asada. But I will eat if somebody's cooking it. If I'm cooking, it's the ribs because I don't know the carne asada. I don't know how to do that.
Yeah, I guess that's true too.
I'm putting the ribs in the smoker if it's on me to get the meal done.
Did 6 hours in there. Perfect.
Cat says, would you drop Kadarius Toney for Kendrick Bourne?
Yeah, I think so.
It's very close for me. They got Toney right back involved last week after the horrific week 1. And I have to think that Kansas City gets better, right? Or is Matt Nagy just gonna burn that offense to the ground?
Nah, they'll get better. They'll be fine.
Yeah, I'm probably going Toney for the upside, but I do like Kendrick Bourne. I wouldn't mind having both on the roster, but anyone? Not starting either.
Going on the bench.
Bang up Pacheco or Warren in a 0.5 PPR?
It's Pacheco for me.
It's Pacheco for me as well. Itty bitty South City. 14-team half PPR. Breece Hall, Najee, Kyren Williams, Roshan, Spears, Achane, DJ Moore, Dotson, Elijah Moore. 2 running backs and 1 flex. Kyren Williams is the easiest out of the bunch. The next easiest is me playing DJ Moore in the flex.
Yep. Is it coming down to Breece and Najee for you?
Dude, I think I start Roshan over Najee right now, but I'm probably. I mean, if it comes down to Breece Hall and Najee, it's Breece Hall for me. I don't care if he gets 4 touches.
It's Breece, Kyren, and DJ Moore for me.
I'm on the same page, getting down with it, but Roshan's probably going to score the most out of all.
And we got a super chat. Get to it. Jeez, there's so many questions on here.
Oh my goodness.
Oh, I missed one earlier. See, the $1.99 ones don't show up. It's weird. So we have 2 super chats. Pittman or Atwell due to the weather. We found out that the weather's not that bad, so it's Pittman for me.
Pittman.
Half PPR. Amari Cooper or Nico Collins and Josh Kelley or Rashad White?
Amari Cooper and Josh Kelley for me.
Yep, I figured we'd be on the same page on that one.
Thank you, Ryan. Was it Tyler? Was he the last one?
Yeah, he had 2 super chats today. So Tyler Sperry, thank you.
Thank you both very, very much. We appreciate that. Skipping the line. We got a lot of questions. Like it says down there, we might be 30 minutes behind after you answer the question. We apologize. We go right in order. We do not skip the line for anybody and play favorites unless they drop that moolah.
You just got another super chat.
Okay, go ahead.
From Taylor Meredith, does Big Dippers have the best lineup to beat Rick in the Intergalactic League? You know what? Let me take a gander at that matchup real fast.
Taylor,
here.
We appreciate you $5, but we are going to let him look up the roster and go back to the other question. But you're in here every week. You're dropping super chats every week. We appreciate you. And I mean, I'm probably going to lose in that league, and that's fine with me. I don't care. I don't care if I go 0 wins all year and add Caleb Williams to that roster. Itty bitty South City says 10-team half PPR. Nico Collins, Dotson, Pickens, Madison, Gus, McKinnon. Need 1 running back and 1 flex out of those guys. Rob.
Hi.
Good morning.
How are you?
Good. How are you?
Excellent.
Wasn't sure if you're going to make it.
Oh, I thought I was on the 9. I thought I was a half hour early.
I did too. I thought he was due at 11, didn't he?
That was last week when you covered for me and I gave you the extension. But I don't know. You're here. That's all that matters, right?
I am here. I'm happy to be here.
So why don't you go ahead and answer this question?
10-team half PPR. Collins, Dotson, Pickens, Madison, Gus, McKinnon need a running back and a flex. So, wow. I think Gus Edwards is my running back.
I think we both agree with you there.
No, I'm
Yep.
changing my mind. You guys are going to hate me for this, but this is an
Oh
Alexander
my God.
Madison day, and it's going to happen. So Madison is my running back. My flex is.
We're only listen. We're only laughing.
Is it kind of how we laughed at Kyren Williams in week 1? I'm just wondering.
This isn't week
just
1.
wondering
This
if it's
isn't
the same thing.
Settle
this
down,
is week
Rob.
3.
He's so angry.
No one's
already.
upset. No one's upset.
No. Listen, earlier I said if I ever pick Madison, call 911 because somebody has drugged me and I'm not okay. That's what
you guys
at.
think Cam Akers is this massive upgrade on Alexander Madison.
He's way better.
He's not massive.
He's way better. He's way better.
So we can revisit this conversation in week 6 then.
Yes,
but I'll go with Madison as my running back, and I will go with Nico as my flex.
We're going Gus and Nico.
We are going Gus and Nico.
I just love the energy.
I might consider Gus over Nico, to be honest. I think Edwards is in a good spot this week.
Wine is always better aged. I don't know what.
That's a true statement.
I just don't know what conversation we're having.
Not a wine drinker.
If Burrow is out, do I start Browning or do I start Dobbs? Bad matchup. Gibson, Jalen Warren, and Trotman in a tight end premium league.
So who's your super flex option? Is basically what he's asking here.
Yeah, I mean, I would wait. I would wait in with Burrow and then just start the unknown of Browning. I mean, it's him and Josh Dobbs are probably at the low end level of NFL quarterbacks, right? Like I don't know that there's a difference here. And Dobbs has Dallas, so I don't want to start him. Gibson, you can't start right now. I guess Warren would be the only option. I probably just wait. And if Burrow plays, I play him. And if not, I play Browning.
Yeah, I'm waiting as well.
I'm waiting. All Browning has to do is get the ball into Jason Higgins' hands a couple of times, and he probably outscores all those guys.
I don't know. Burrow hasn't been able to do that yet, which is worrisome. Hopefully he gets help.
No, he hasn't.
Laugh out loud. Thank you guys. I already have CMC and Mostert lined up. Those were my flex picks. Gotcha. I don't know. I don't remember which one. Oh, I get the wine thing. It's because we were talking about Charbonnet. Good morning, boys. Full PPR flex. Pick one. Laporta, Goddard, Khalil Herbert, Dotson, or Elijah Moore. Thanks, boys. Adam. Flex pick. I'm going with Khalil Herbert here. I don't love it, but I'm going to take the running back in this situation.
Who's Houston play? Or sorry, who does Cleveland play?
We
just talked about this.
Tennessee Titans.
They're banged up. Yeah.
Titans.
I think I'm going to go with Elijah Moore here just because I think that's how you have to attack that defense. They're so good against the run. I think Roschon eventually takes over that role, so that's why I get scared away from Herbert. Goddard and Laporta are still a little bit too inconsistent, and Dotson isn't what I thought he would be yet. So I'm going to go with Elijah Moore.
It's between Elijah Moore and Goddard to me. Goddard sucked week 1, got a lot more usage in week 2. I'll go with Goddard.
He did nothing with it, though. That was my problem.
That's true. He had like 8 catches for like 30 yards.
22 yards or something. Yeah.
Hey, Cat City has a 99 Charbonnet that's awful.
Nice.
Chardonnay, same thing.
Redraft, I was considering Sharbs for CJ Stroud because I need a QB for Burrow this week. So that's when he was asking if he should release Sharbs. If you need a QB, then I'm fine with that. But Sharbs is a guy that I still want to stash. His workload went up in week 2. It's the opposite of Tank Bigsby, right? Tank Bigsby got work in week 1 and then got nothing in week 2. So Sharbs is trending in the right direction, but who knows? But yeah,
I would do that, and I think you have a pretty good chance of picking him back up next week, to be totally honest. So I would do that if I needed a quarterback.
Sorry, boys. Pick 2 flex in the PPR.
Who's that?
This one. So I'm going Herbert and Goddard here, probably. or Herbert and Dotson. Those would be my two options. Herbert's the easy one for me, and then one of those two. So you said Elijah Moore. Who are you starting with, Elijah Moore?
I'm probably going to join Bryce here and go with Goddard.
I will second. I'm going Goddard and Elijah Moore.
Justin says he liked and subbed. We appreciate you.
Thanks,
we
man.
appreciate all those, the likes and the subs. Thank you very much. Ryan needs to know, who do I start? Higgins, Lockett, or Addison? He needs two of these. Lockett's the easy one for me.
Man, whoever
should be the easy, but
right. I think I'm sitting Higgins. As crazy as that sounds, Minnesota's defense absolutely stinks. Addison's getting, I think he leads the league in air yard targets. He's scored in every game, and I don't expect that stuff to continue. But Minnesota's going to throw a ball 100 times today if they want to sniff to win this game. So Lockett's the easy one, and I'll put Addison with them. The Chargers, who also really need to win this game.
Lockett and Addison for me as well.
That's nuts.
I really don't.
If Burrow was playing, it'd be Lockett and Higgins for sure. But with I'm
not even sure if it would be a
not
healthy Burrow. Yeah.
I mean, last week Higgins had 2 touchdowns.
True. It's weird, right? Because he had nothing the week before. So
I'm not even gonna say one because you guys already outvoted me. Even if I go with Higgins anyway, so it doesn't really make a whole lot of sense if I do go opposite of you guys. I hate it. I hate making that choice because it could definitely go either way. I'm not gonna argue against Addison. I probably lean Higgins just a little bit, but it's not a lot. Addison has been an answer of mine for a lot of questions today. I do love him, but it's so hard to sit Higgins. Again, he's a guy you drafted in the 3rd round, and obviously quarterback issues. But Miles Sanders, Josh Kelley, Isaiah Pacheco. I'm assuming we're just picking one for Mark something.
Josh Kelley for me.
What a difference a week makes. It's Josh Kelley for me today. I kind of popped in last night on your show. DeAndre Swift had 130 yards before contact last week against Minnesota. So I'd start the 3 of us against the Vikings.
I mean, that is bad.
I'm going for 200 plus.
I don't think I've ever heard a stat like that in my entire life.
That is so bad. Cat says, why do people think Pitts is good? You knew something not working where he currly is. I mean, Pitts.
Yeah, I think she's saying that as. Yeah, I think it's that she was saying that as we were talking about him,
getting traded.
He's good. Yeah, he's good. It's just the usage is not reflection of his talent. So he's just not being utilized. You can't be good if you're not. You can't put up points if you're not being used.
Mark responded to that. Put Pitts in Dallas, and he's the number 1 tight end. I don't know if he'd be the number. He would be the number 1 on Dallas, but I don't know that he would be the number 1 in fantasy. You still got a couple guys to jump there with Mark Andrews and Travis Kelce, but I'm sure he would be better than what he is right now for Atlanta.
He'd probably be the number 1 dynasty tight end.
I like Kyle Pitts. I don't know if you guys know that or not. Arthur Smith doesn't give a rat's ass about fantasy football or anything else other than winning football. And the worst thing for us is he is winning. So Kyle Pitts is A, not going anywhere, and B, going to give you the same thing he's going to continue to give you. So it is what it is.
Yo, boys, Perfecto needs to know, you playing Puka or Keenan Allen? You're playing both.
Yes, you are.
Yeah, man.
And if you're not, you have a really good team. It doesn't really matter.
Yeah, what could you possibly have as a wide receiver above them, and a flex?
Unless you got, you started your draft with, say, I don't know,
Jefferson,
CeeDee Lamb and Jefferson, CeeDee Lamb around, and then you took Puka really late because no one was drafting Puka early. But as dumb as this sounds, I'm starting Puka over Keenan Allen if somebody puts a gun to my head. But that's nuts. I'm starting them both, like you said.
I'm putting Keenan Allen in this week. They're playing against Miami. It's just the perfect matchup for that. But man,
can't argue that.
Yeah,
can't argue it. But Puka gets, what has he got? 18 targets each week or something stupid like that?
They don't play Miami, do they?
The Chargers play Miami, don't they?
Chargers play
Chargers play
Minnesota,
Minnesota.
Oh, Minnesota.
I think
Okay, yeah.
everybody
still.
versus Minnesota.
which is even
Even
more
better.
giving. Start every Charger you
Chargers and
have.
Miami played week.
Everyone.
Chargers and Miami played week 1.
Start their coaches, start their equipment guys, start the lady
Antonio
who's
Gates
nice enough
at
to
your
answer the
tight
phone.
Antonio
anyone.
Gates is your tight end one of the week.
Spiller might be a good flex this week. I mean, start
Watson.
everyone.
My bad. So that was Sammy Watkins, the Watson one. We were right. It was Watson. Yo, fellas, Nico Collins or Olave, Nico Collins or Pittman. So Pittman and Olave for me.
Yeah.
Same. Really impressed with Minshew, Pittman hookup. That looked real good.
Good options there. You had Za too. So
Very good.
You're in a good spot. Robert Woods or Barrios. This is Robert Woods. Not even a question. 10 targets per game. It's not exciting. The upside's not there, but it's Robert Woods.
Bobby Trees for me.
It is, but I think it's closer with Waddle out, but it's still Robert Woods.
Perfecto says also Aaron Jones, Zach Moss, or Madison. This is easily Aaron Jones, right?
Is
I
he
know
going?
me and
Is he
Bryce
going?
are on the same- It looks like he's going.
Yeah, it's definitely is. If he's going, it's definitely him. If it's not, it's Madison for me.
It's Zach Moss, if not.
Come
For
on.
me. What do you
Moss
mean?
says-
Come on.
Wait,
It's a one good game in his
Zach Moss
life.
over Aaron Jones?
No. If Jones
Aaron
is playing, it's Jones.
We're talking about number 2 option, Zach Moss. So
Yeah.
Oh, it's Zach Moss, easily number 2. Bryce is just trying to get us fired up.
This is
It's never
ridiculous.
Madison. Madison's trash sauce.
Oh, and it's never been Zach Moss until he has one good game.
Yeah, but he gets all the
Ever.
work, and his team doesn't have to throw it 50 times a game. Like you just
That's
said,
va-
that
that's
the
valid.
Vikings are gonna have to throw a ton. So Madison's
That's valid.
if we knew Madison was getting 20 to 25 touches, then that's different because even we've said it. Zach Moss is not good. I don't like Zach Moss either, but he's probably getting 20, 22, 25 touches, right?
He could.
That's the difference. Madison might get 9 carries and 4 targets and have 11 touches because they've had to throw the ball because their defense can't stop the Chargers.
Chargers can't stop the run either, though. So that'll be an interesting game to see how it plays out.
Catcat says, sorry about these reactionary messages. Don't need to read them all. I'll stop until I have some legit. No, you're good. You're good. I just have to connect it back to what we're talking about.
Keep coming. This is fun.
And right now we went from like 8 minutes behind when you first came in. So now we're like 20 minutes behind. So it's harder to connect those to the original source. Ryan James says Hall or McLaurin. This is McLaurin for me. If we have options, we can't start Breece Hall yet, right?
No. Can't trust the workload.
L-O. Marco says start 1. Cooks, Hollins, Reed, Sky, or Pitts in my flex.
Ugh.
This is Brandon Cooks for me.
I go with Reed, I think.
Christian Watson should be back, so I don't want Reed. I think I'm going to Brandon Cooks as well.
I don't mind Reed,
Yeah.
by the way. He's going to be he's going to be a red zone threat.
I don't mind Cooks either. I'm just a little worried about his health.
I'm going to go blow some dro. This channel rocks. Thank you very much.
What is blow some dro?
I don't know. We're too old for that shit, Bryce.
I thought that was an old saying, so I thought you guys would
Oh,
know.
It is
I'm too young for that.
What does it mean?
I'm too young for that. I don't know.
Somebody's going to go have a meeting with some Mary Jane, I think.
Hey,
okay.
They like the channel. That's all I took from that.
Yeah.
So.
Hey, yeah. Great. Love it. All right. Ryan Oliver says half PPR, Amari Cooper or Nico Collins, and Josh Kelley or Rashad White. I'm going Amari Cooper and Josh Kelley.
Yep.
Are we picking 2 or 1? Oh, sorry, I read it now.
One of each.
I'm with you 100%.
He's trying to get me. If Marco's in here, he keeps asking questions, trying to get me to say Madison, and I'm going with Jacob Johnson. He wants to call 911. Ollie Sheehan, Pacheco, Najee, or Kelley. Last one was Madison or Danny Burkhead, and I went with Burkhead on that one too. I'm going Kelley here. I just can't start Najee.
Najee.
It's Kelley for me.
Kelley. I'd rather start Jalen Warren than Najee.
I'm starting both in one league. In Scott Fish, I have both, and I'm putting them both in my lineup because I don't really have a choice. But I would start Warren over Najee too.
I have Najee and Scott Fishbowl too. Man, it's painful. Do I start Puka over Pittman or Addison even when he's questionable? Yes.
Yeah.
Puka is a start over both of them for me. Though him and Pittman are a lot closer than him and Addison, but I like all three of these guys. You're in a good spot. We're all on board there, right?
Yep. I agree.
C-Dog says Kendre Miller or Khalil Herbert. I'm taking the upside unknown with Kendre Miller, but it is a risk.
I'm going Kendre Miller. It's any moment that Johnson takes over, I imagine.
Yeah, and if Chicago's going to throw to their backs, it's probably Roschon too, right?
Well, here's the thing. We lost our left tackle, so he's on IR. Our left guard's on IR. Our center is playing like doo-doo sauce. So the right side is really the only thing, and that's if Nate Davis is back in after his thing last week. Like, our line is atrocious. And the one thing, Roschon is rated 5th right now amongst all running backs in blocking, pass blocking.
Yeah.
He has allowed 0 pressures on 8 opportunities. Khalil Herbert is the opposite. He is terrible in those situations. So I think they have to have Roschon on the field more than Khalil Herbert in a game where they're likely going to have to throw. Hopefully they move the pocket and just don't stand back there because Chris Jones will literally murder Justin Fields if he gets blindsided. There'll be a funeral on Wednesday this week. So I hope they move the pocket and Roschon's in there giving some blocking help.
Sold. Kendre Miller. Don't love it, but what are you going to do?
Finally sold something. Pick 2 in the standard league. Lockett, Pittman, Flowers, Nico Collins. Lockett is my easy one. Pittman's my second. I'm going Lockett and Pittman.
Lockett and Pittman for me.
Yeah, I'll join you here.
I'm trying to sneak Nico in there in places, but
I am too. I like him in all. I like all these.
I like all 4 of those.
Yeah,
I'd like to start all 4 of those guys if I could.
I am on board with that. Listen, people. James Conner's my dude. I talk about him every week. Last week he scored 21 or something. I gotta go James Conner over Gus the Bus here in full PPR.
James Conner for me.
I think the full PPR is the kicker part, but man, Connor is in tough this week, but I'll stick with him.
We talked about this a little bit last night and this morning, but
I heard
those running backs in the tough matchups, I do like the dump offs, but I'm gonna let you guys answer this. The reason why I asked if you were coming in, Sully, is because I had to pee so bad and I keep forgetting to
I'm gonna go when you get back.
Questions. But
I'll just take turns, boys. I'm here. I missed the memo.
Go ahead.
I missed the memo. I thought we were on the same time.
Rice, go.
What? Oh, full PPR. Alexander Madison.
No, go to the bathroom. Doofus.
Oh, I said I'd go after you. All right.
We already know how you guys are going to answer this. It's Madison for me.
It's Jerome Ford for me, but I don't love it. This one is he almost.
That's
got
me.
He almost got.
That's a nasty matchup. Hey.
Yeah, hopefully Jerome Ford does get some work out of the backfield, catching passes, but I don't love it, but I don't love it either. Marco says, "Good afternoon, Sully."
Afternoon.
Yo, what up, Rob? What's up, players? Rob, bringing the juice this AM. We got hype. So that's how far we are behind is from when you.
We're catching up now, though.
How the hell you robbers gonna rob the robber?
It's a lot of robs.
Okay, we're gonna pick 2 for the flex. Gabe, Myers, Kirk, Tank Dell. For me, it's Kirk and Myers.
Same.
Tank Dell's close, 3rd there.
Yeah, I keep thinking he's going to get hit and broken half, but he looks pretty good.
Joe Lindsay wants to know, Mooney or Curtis Samuel in his flex?
It's Curtis Samuel for me.
It's Mooney for me. What is it? Asante Samuel? No, Janarius Sneed. So I'm thinking of. for Kansas City is going to be on DJ Moore. The number 2 receiver has done pretty well. Now, I would argue that Claypool's the number 2 when they're all 3 on the field.
I don't know why, but that you know them better than anybody else.
Yeah, I'm going to go with Mooney here.
Nice. Good hustle, Bryce. Well done.
I haven't got some chocolate.
That's why I let you go first, because I have something else to do.
Us older guys, hey? Takes a bit.
Yeah.
What are you doing here? Freiermuth or Ertz?
Ertz. And it sounds weird, but it is. Like, Muth is banged up and not efficient in that offense right now, and Ertz is getting targeted like crazy. So, Ertz for me.
9 targets per game for Ertz. That's who I'm going with.
I think he's a leading tight end target in the league. Sorry, Bryce. Okay.
Zach Ertz for me as well.
Okay. Rick, you going?
Yeah, well, I'm going to wait till he's not chewing on Laffy Taffy.
I can read. I can't scroll, but I can read.
I'm good. I'm good.
Well, Castile was supposed to play in this baseball game the other night, and he didn't show up. And he said that they were dealing with the cops at work. So I need to know what I should do with Kittle. It seems Purdy has a go-to target in Ayuk, and his production is limited when Ayuk plays. I have Evan Ingram as a backup, and want your thoughts. I mean, I would trade Kittle in this situation and just play Evan Ingram every week. See what you can get out of Kittle. Maybe he has a big week, and then you can move him for something else. What are you doing, Sully?
I think it depends on format here, right? So you look at Ayuk missed this week. Debo's got some banged up ribs and could miss next week. I think the Niners offense is not the picture of health. There's always going to be guys in and out of that lineup. And Kittle always seems to be efficient when one of the pieces is missing. When all the pieces are there, Kittle seems to be the guy that isn't. So if you need the roster spot, I agree with Rick. Trade Kittle for something and start Ingram every week. I'm probably starting Ingram over Kittle at most weeks anyway. So, Bryce, what are you doing here?
Yeah, I'm going to the Kyle Pitts owner and dangling George Kittle over his head right here, back here. What do you want to give me for that?
In all formats? Like, would you do that in redraft?
Dynasty, no, it's gonna be harder. But in redraft, definitely. Redraft,
yeah,
I'm definitely gonna try and find the guy that probably didn't reach on Kyle Pitts, but drafted him where he's probably supposed to be drafted and is performing just like he did last year. And trying to do something there in dynasty leagues. I'm definitely gonna try and find a contender. See if you can get like see what pick you can get out of him. I don't know, because he's like one of those players that I feel like are between a first and second round pick. So it's hard to trade for one or the other. But yeah, I'm definitely moving.
Format's so important.
Yeah, definitely moving George Kittle. Rufino, amateur question, starting Kendra Miller over Tony Jones. Any hesitation there? No, not out of me. And as you can see, I'm out of options and pumped for Kendra. Yeah, I mean, it's always exciting to see a new young player that should probably take over as the lead back, in years to come once Alvin Kamara's out of there. So I think he's got definitely the upside. I liked him in college, though, too.
Yeah, I liked him at TCU. I was pretty high on him coming out in this class. He was one of my, I think, third or fourth highest running back rated by me coming out. So I just worry about his usage, and he's battling a hamstring all preseason. Scares me. So, but Tony Jones has shown me absolutely nothing. So Kendra Miller for me is no problem.
George Henning asks, Miles Sanders or Rachaad White, full PPR? It's I'm going to go with Rachaad White, even with a tough matchup this week. Who are you going with?
Same.
I can't believe read Megatron question. I don't think you're in here yet, but the flex option was like Megatron, Wes Welker, and somebody else, or Danny Woodhead. I said,
or Alexander Madison.
Yeah, no, it didn't have him.
No?
It was like a OG question, I guess. I was
nice.
Like, hey, look, prime Wes Welker was a guy you couldn't sit.
He was, but Megatron is always the right answer to those questions.
Yeah, gotta be. Thoughts on Kareem Hunt? Will Leonard Fournette get signed? Should I roster him? I think it's going to be Jerome Ford's backfield. I think just Kareem Hunt's there as a veteran presence at this point. Why? I just don't see the point of like replacing Jerome Ford with a back that you didn't even have on your roster before. So why not roll with Jerome Ford and have Kareem Hunt as a solid backup?
Yeah, I think they signed Kareem Hunt to fill the same role that he had previous years. He's a change of pace guy and a nice third down passing option. Jerome Ford will get the chance. It's Pierre Strong that suffers from Kareem Hunt showing up, not the other way around, in my opinion. Leonard Fournette, if he wants to, will eventually get a spot. We're 2 weeks in, and running backs have been decimated already in 2 weeks. So the injuries are going to keep coming. And Leonard Fournette's going to get a job. I personally think the guy's cooked. I don't know if I would do much with him, but you might as well roster him, because if your waiver wires are like any of my leagues, there's nothing out there anyway. So I'd roster Tony Dorsett at this point. So might as well keep a hold on to Leonard Fournette.
Yeah, I mean, he'll find a job. I just don't see him being much use, even if he does. Marquise Brown or Tank Dell?
I think it's Dell.
It is Dell for me. The tough matchup for Marquise. I'd imagine Gilmore's going to be on him the entire game because there's really nobody else to cover. So Tank Dell. Tank Dell for me. Moss, Warren, or Miller? Kind of worried about the Moss matchup and Miller coming back from an injury. So who you going here?
Warren. I think he's there's reports they're going to give him more work. I don't think the Raiders are anything to worry about. He can run and catch, so it's Warren for me.
I think I've gone Zach Moss earlier. It's always been close between Moss and Warren, but I'm going to go with Zach Moss because, I mean, I understand Warren's getting more work. I want to see how much more is because he gets 52% of the work to Najee's 48%. Where Zach Moss has really nobody competing for work. That's really
Najee's not going away just because Warren's getting more work. So you're right about that.
Yeah, it could easily be Warren in the future, though. Kirk, Addison, Nico, pick 2.
Nico and Kirk for me.
Man, I don't know if I went Addison over Kirk earlier. I think I'm going to go
3.
I think I'm going to go with Nico and Kirk as well. No Zay Jones this week makes that easier. If Zay Jones was playing, go Nico and Addison though.
I think I would be agreeing with you there.
I believe Jacoby is going to shock everyone. He was on my Pats, and Pats won't let anyone be a superstar. Myers is legit. Week 1 wasn't a fluke. He fits Jimmy G's game better than Adams. Yeah, I mean, I think it's the biggest mistake the Patriots made in a while, letting him go and signing Juju Smith-Schuster for basically the same contract. But I don't think it's that they want anyone to be a superstar. I just don't think anybody is set to be a superstar in that type of offense right now because they're just not exciting. I don't think Jacoby's a superstar. I think he's a very good role player. He's
really good possession receiver, right? He's got good hands. I found it kind of funny that it took Jacoby 3 years to score a touchdown in New England, and it took him 3 quarters in Las Vegas. But every organization has I wish I would have signed this guy or drafted that guy over this guy. So that if that's New England's and all those trophies are in the trophy case and banners are in the stadium, you guys will be fine.
Yeah. I don't know what to think of that team right now. We need a wide receiver, and
you're the best 0-2 team in football, in my opinion, by a long shot.
And look who they've lost to. They lost to the Miami Dolphins and the Philadelphia Eagles. So
and could have very easily won both those games.
Yeah, I'm just glad they were close. You can't be happier. Great. Yeah, I thought so. We played good. We played 4 good quarters of football. It just happens to both be in the 3rd and 4th quarter. They got to play better in the first half. They just have
That's fair.
Josh Kelley or Joe Mixon? This got to be Joe Mixon, right?
It is. I don't love it, to be honest, but I'm not that crazy about Kelley this week. I think Mixon, especially if it's a backup quarterback, Mixon's going to get a lot of touches. Yeah.
The answer to the second part is Kelley's just not that good. But this, he's the answer a lot today because the matchup is just too good, right? I think a bad running back can produce well in this type of matchup.
Yeah, it's polar opposite matchup, right? They played Tennessee last week, who's probably the best run defense in the league, and they play Minnesota this week, who's arguably the worst run defense in the league. That's why I'm a little worried about Jerome Ford this week, because Tennessee's defense is very good against the run. So you just throw on them.
Yeah.
It's really that simple.
Yeah, and Ruffino says he's not good. He's terrible. I really don't think Josh Kelley is good at all. He just is in a really good situation this week. That's all. The answer probably is never going to be him moving forward.
If Kelley gets hurt early, Spiller will go crazy. I'm telling you right now, anyone can run on that defense. So hopefully that doesn't happen because no one's going to start Spiller, but Kelley's nothing special.
Yep. He's a talent. Yep. 100%. Oh, shoot. Just lost my spot. I always click on because like when a new comment comes up. There we go. LOL. There we go. LOL. I have Jefferson, Adams, Puka. Okay, that makes sense. Puka and Keenan Allen.
18 team. Okay.
8-man league. Okay, that makes sense. Yeah, got Puka as a pickup on waivers.
I'd start Puka over Adams this week. Call me crazy.
I can't, but
I know.
You know what? I don't have a.
It's just volume.
I'm going to say this: there is no Jefferson's a lock, obviously, but I don't think there's any wrong start for the rest of your roster. There's no wrong answer at all. Just put them all equal. Throw them in there. Don't start Gerald Everett. Yeah.
Actually, I have Puka at 6 this week. Lamb, Diggs, Allen, Jefferson, Tyreek are the only guys I have ahead of them.
Good company to be in.
Right.
DeAndre Hopkins or Terry McLaurin.
Is he going? Do we know?
Hopkins
playing?
I believe so, yeah. I haven't heard anything, so usually be hearing some stuff right about now.
So Washington has Buffalo and Tennessee has
the Chargers.
No, Minnesota has the Chargers.
Oh, yeah. Tennessee has the Browns. Jerome Ford.
I'm going to go Terry McLaurin here. I don't normally sit DeAndre Hopkins, but he's not 100%. That defense is a pretty solid defense. He probably gets Denzel Ward treatment all day. So give me Terry McLaurin here.
Terry McLaurin for me as well.
Same for me. I don't know where we're at, so go ahead with the next one.
I'll go next one. Just let me know when you found it.
I've got it. Yep.
Okay. Gus Edwards or B-Rob?
Man. I think it's Robinson for me. I'm going to look to see what I've done here.
I'm going Gus Edwards here, I think.
Yeah, the matchup's not great for B-Rob.
Can't argue that.
Bills defense. I'll go Gus Edwards, but this is close for me. I put these guys probably right side by side.
Yeah, with Justice Hill out, I just feel like Gus is going to get all of it. Now, Melvin Gordon may come in. They like these older running backs. We talked about it last night, the Devonta Freemans and Latavius Murrays of the world. But
yeah,
they know Gus. I think he's going to get it all. Again, multi-touchdown upside. I'm going to go with Gus.
They activated Kenyon Drake, too, for whatever that's worth. And I believe it's supposed to be not ideal weather in that game. So I'm going to stick with Brian Robinson, but I can't argue it at the opposite side either way.
This is a good one right here for Mike. You going Ridley or DK? Sully, who are you going with here?
Ridley for me.
Ridley for me as well.
Like
Ridley
not really that close, to be honest.
If you're sitting one of these two, you're in a pretty good spot, though, Mike.
Yeah. DK's a little banged up, too, so be aware of that.
Homebred says, pick 2, PPR, Najee, Zach Moss, Joshua Kelley, Javonte Williams, and Zay Flowers. I'm going Javonte and Joshua Kelley myself.
I am too.
So am I, and I feel sick saying it.
Me too. Cat says, very cool. Thanks, guys. Marco says, Madison or wearing a Packers jersey for an entire stream. You may have got me here. You may be calling 911 for me here on this one. I might have to go with Madison over wearing a Packers jersey for an entire stream. I do. Good job, Marco. Good job. You found one. Jim Pacheco says Hubbard, Kareem Hunt, or Roschon Johnson. Bryce, who are you going with here?
This is Roschon Johnson for me. Kind of easily.
Same.
Chuba for me. I really liked how he was involved in that passing game last week, and Dalton will throw to him, so I'll go with Hubbard.
What's hubbub with Hubbard this week? I know Sanders had Q-tag earlier this week, but do you expect him to really take anything away from Sanders? So you were just saying this, Sully. So
yeah, so I think he takes much away on the ground? Not really. But I think this is a game where Carolina trails, and we saw how Hubbard was utilized in the passing game both weeks, really. So Chuba can catch the ball out of the backfield, and he has a little bit of juice running the ball between the tackles too. So I think he's a viable option this week. I wouldn't start him over Miles Sanders, but I do think in situations like that last question with the caliber of player that we had, he's worth a flex.
Deacon says, thanks, fellas. I appreciate it. Demir says, do I start Love or Burrow? I think you have to just go with Love here and anticipate Burrow not playing.
That is the correct answer.
100%.
Anthony says, good morning, Heat Seekers. In a full PPR, should I start Jerome Ford or Javonte Williams? I think we're all going to be on Javonte Williams here, right?
Yep.
By a wide margin, yeah.
Chango says, pick 2, full PPR, Lockett, Addison, Miles Sanders, Brian Robinson, Zach Moss. Sully, where are you going?
Lockett for sure. Addison, Sanders. I wish this was Bichon because then it'd be easier. I'm going to go with Lockett, and it's between Robinson and Addison for me right now. I'll go with Robinson.
I'm going to go with
Lockett and Robinson. Yeah, I don't blame you.
You said Lockett, Addison?
Yeah. For me.
I think that's where I'm going as well, as Lockett, Addison.
Maybe
it's close. Well. If it played a little bit softer defense, I mean, the Bills' run defense is definitely they're pretty good. So if it was any different defense, I'd probably go B-Rob. But that game could also get out of hand quick where B-Rob isn't used that much.
But that's PPR, so you guys sold me. I'm Addison as well. Lockett, Addison, sweep it.
Bone says we need to pick 2, Najee, Rashad White, Josh Kelley. Am I crazy for going White Kelley here?
If you are, so am I, because I'm sitting Najee, and it feels gross.
I'll join the crazy trade. I'd sit Najee, and I'm good. I traded him all my dynasties. So pumped. I'm so pumped I did that. Whew.
Yeah, well done.
Okay, Steven's just in here patting himself on the back, has CMC and Pollard on the same team. He means, damn, I can't just feel that 2,500 in my pocket. You can't?
Which one did he just curse, or did he curse them both?
He may have cursed them both. Has Waller seen his best days behind him? Would you start Hunter Henry going into week 4?
Maybe, and probably not. I don't know who they play in week 4. The Giants have to figure stuff out. Like, he's the most viable pass catching option there is. The problem is Daniel Jones throws the ball to Waller like he's 8 feet 3 inches tall. He throws the ball too damn high. So, and then Waller doesn't do himself any favors when it hits him in the hands and he loses it and it gets picked off. But no, I think Waller will be fine. And Hunter Henry, I get it. Him and Mac Jones have a rapport, but I'm not there.
Yes, his best days are definitely behind him. And yeah, I think I'm starting Hunter Henry from now on until Waller is definitely the better talent even right now. I mean, that's not even debatable, right? But at this point, the usage and just how well the offense is doing, like in comparison to the Giants, like the touchdown upside goes Hunter Henry, the usage goes Hunter Henry. I'm going to go Hunter Henry until Waller turns it around.
Yeah, I agree. I mean, any guy that's in his 30s, his best days are probably behind him, so I don't think there's any argument there.
Except Kelsey, I guess.
Well, I still think his best days are behind him.
His best days were in his 30s, though.
But last year will be Kelsey's best year of his career. I don't think.
But it was his 30s, still, right? So,
but his best days are still behind him.
Yeah, but still, their best days in his 30s is what I was meaning.
I hear you.
Anyways, I'm still starting Waller for now, but it is close. Should I start Joshua Kelley or Gus the Bus Edwards? I'm still on the Gus the Bus side here. I think he's a top 12 option this week.
I'm Kelley here.
Gus
Kelley
Edwards for me.
3 of my leagues, I was pick 5. I was pissed. How'd I get CMC Pollard? Okay, we get it. You have CMC and Pollard. Adam says flex PPR, Pierce, Sutton, Reed, Dell. Picking
Tank
one,
Dell.
it looks like. Tank Dell.
Tank
Dell for me.
Tank.
Tank Dell
Kind of easy
as well.
Yeah, it sure isn't Pierce, man. Whew, what a mess.
Rufino says, asking for a friend in all sincerity, Addison, Flowers, or Atwell? I'm going Addison. I'm Addison, Atwell, Flowers in that order.
Me too, and I'm wondering if Atwell's volume is going to outweigh Addison's potential productivity. I will go with Addison as well. Be a bit of a homer.
Yeah, Addison. Honestly, yeah, all 3 of these guys are close for me. I'll go Addison as well.
I don't think you're being a homer there.
I am, but I'm not. If that makes any sense.
Well, you can be a homer and right at the same time. Why not?
Yeah, you are.
I might be on this pick right here, even though I don't love Khalil Herbert, but Pierce has done nothing so far.
Houston's O-line is really hurt. Like, I think they're on like their 6th and 7th guys that are on injured reserve or something absolutely mind-numbing like that. You guys mentioned how Pierce isn't involved in the passing game, and I kept telling you that he was. Well, he isn't. And Stroud has dropped back, I think, 110 dropbacks in 2 games. So I don't know how you don't go Khalil Herbert here. Like, there's no real rhyme or reason to go with Dameon Pierce, other than Dameon Pierce is probably the better talent, but he's in a horrible situation right now. So Khalil Herbert for me.
Khalil Herbert for me as well.
Sweeping it, and it's not Purdy. I think we would all agree with that as well.
Correct.
All right. Are we going with Durham Smythe or Chig Unconkwo full PPR? Bryce.
Let me look at Chig's usage here. I feel like when I get to the players of this
my answer is I agree with Bryce.
It's Durham Smythe.
There you go.
With Waddle out,
opinion here.
With Waddle out, I think Smythe absolutely gets a bump. I think we'll see other guys get a bump too, but I think, Smythe, he's got 10 targets in 2 weeks. And with Waddle out, he's probably going to be in the 6-7 target range this week, and that's what I'm going to go with. And a much better offense with more touchdown upside.
Yep.
Thanks for what you do, M Nasty says. M Nasty, you're always supporting us. We appreciate it. 10-team full PPR, need a wide receiver and a flex. We got Garrett Wilson, Nico Collins, Zay Flowers, Jacoby Myers, Rashad White. So we need a wide receiver and a flex. I think for me, I'm removing Rashad White because of the matchup with these good options at wide receiver. Now it's just deciding which 2 out of the 3 of Wilson, Collins, and Myers for me. I got to stick with Wilson for now.
Yeah. I think it's probably Wilson and Nico. And I think the right answer is Nico and Myers, but I can't sit Garrett Wilson yet.
That is the right answer. It is, but I don't think I can sit Garrett Wilson either.
Like I can't sit Garrett Wilson right just
I'm
yet.
gonna shove in Jacoby Myers over Nico though. That's so close.
It's so close for me. I agree. Wilson can just do stuff with only 3 catchable balls that these guys can't do with 10, right?
Exactly.
So, that's just the truth. I think I'm going to go Nico. I think Nico is safer than Myers just because of how much Houston throws the ball. So I'm going to go with Wilson and Nico as well. Adrian says, I got Burrow. Who should I start, Dak or Wilson? I'm starting Dak. If that's Russell, I was thinking Zach Wilson. I was thinking Zach when I first seen it, but I'm starting Russell Wilson, especially against Miami in a game where they'll probably have to throw a bunch, and he's already getting garbage time points. Those count the same. So I'm going Russell Wilson.
100%.
I have Dak ranked higher, but I shouldn't. I'm going to change that. I'm with you on Russell Wilson.
Yep.
Kendre Miller or Joshua Kelley?
Kelley by leaps and bounds.
Kelley for me, rather easily.
Yeah, it's rather easily. I think the talent is all on Miller's side, but we have no idea what they're going to do with him in his first action of the season.
Totally agree.
Pick 2, Josh Jacobs, James Cook, Jahmyr Gibbs, Kyren Williams. And we're picking 2 of these. I just want to remind everybody before we get into this, Josh Jacobs did lead the league in rushing last year, but he also did have 9 rushing attempts for -2 yards last week. What is going on? Raiders never make sense. I'm going with Kyren Williams and Jahmyr Gibbs here.
These guys are all my top 12 this week.
I'm going Kyren Williams and Jahmyr Gibbs. That's crazy.
They're all in my top 12. Yeah, so they're all in my top 12, and I'm going to go with how I have it ranked. I'm going to go with Jacobs and Gibbs.
Goddard or Kincaid in a standard league. This is for C notes over here. Sully, who are you going with?
Dallas Goddard, please and thank you. Bryce?
I like both options, but it's Goddard because, they do 2 tight end sets and Buffalo, so the touchdowns appear to be going Knox's way. So give me Dallas Goddard.
I am going Dallas Goddard as well. He's going to have a huge week one of these weeks.
It's an A.J. Brown week, though. It's an A.J. Brown week this week.
After their discussion, and then they came out and targeted him on the first 2 plays after that sideline discussion, I agree. Yeah. But that also helps free it up for Goddard a little bit for other stuff. And as a tight end, you don't need all the volume. You just need to get the right volume, right? Jahan Dotson, Elijah Moore, or Roschon Johnson in a full PPR flex spot. Sully.
I like Elijah Moore, like I stated earlier this week, so I'll stick with him.
Elijah Moore for me. Targets are there.
Do or die for Deshaun Watson this week. Like, if he doesn't produce this week, cut him.
I'm going Roschon Johnson here.
In a redraft league, if Deshaun Watson can't do this week, I would drop him.
Yeah, okay. I thought you were talking about the team. I was like, what? They're not gonna...
No. Well, they can't all they want. They got a few 100 million reasons why they can't, but
it's true.
They should have not signed him is what they should have done, is not do that whole thing. But here they are. But I'm gonna go Roschon again against the Chiefs with that offensive line. I think he's going to be important to their game plan. They have to run the ball more. They only ran the ball with the running backs 11 times last week. That makes 0 sense at all. So I think they're going to have to use him in the run game. He's going to have to be on the field for passing downs because he's the only one of the 2 backs that can block. And that's going to create some more dump offs for him. So I'm going to go with Roschon here and hope it's the week that he pops. Should I trade Garrett Wilson for Lockett and Nico Collins in a redraft league? I think you have to, right? That's too many weekly targets between Lockett and Nico. Quality or higher quality than Garrett Wilson's going to get from Zach Wilson.
Yeah. There's very few wide receivers in redraft that I wouldn't trade for those 2.
Yeah. I think if you're getting both of those dudes in your starting lineup too, like if you were just getting one in your starting lineup and the other one was going to be on your bench, then it'd be like, okay, well, let me reassess. But if you're trading one starter for 2, I think you're getting a better deal on this side.
That's an excellent point. You got to factor in who's coming out of your lineup as well. But that's a great point.
Parker says Godwin or Stevenson in the flex in a full PPR. Sully, which one you starting?
I'm going to go with Stevenson. I think I was a little wrong with my worries of Ezekiel Elliott. He looks horrible. So I think I'll go with Ramondre, and he should do well. Bryce?
Yeah, it's Ramondre Stevenson. He's pretty much a weekly start for me.
Same. I don't have anything to add. Stevenson, I think, is good. So
yeah,
this one is easily Aaron Jones, right, guys? We're not sitting him for AJ Dillon, who has looked kind of dookie so far.
There's only one way you start AJ Dillon over Aaron Jones, and that's if he watches the game beside me. So
yeah.
Bones wants to know, are you playing Puka or Mike Williams? Here's what I'll say. Puka is the right answer, but if you are somebody that is worried about, him and his oblique and the questionable tag Monday night, then it's fine to start Mike Williams. Mike Williams gets the Vikings. We know that's a good matchup. But I'm starting Puka. I'm willing to take that risk of something happening and him not playing Monday night. But if you are somebody that is worried, then I wouldn't argue against throwing Mike Williams in there. Is that exactly how you feel? Sully?
No.
Yeah, when you were on your little break there, I said Puka's 6 for me. Like I have 5 guys over him this week. Williams isn't one of them, so I'm going to start Puka. But let's be real; he's not getting 18 targets every game for the rest of his life. So this could come down to earth, crash down to earth. But Matthew Stafford, since he's been a Ram, has found his number one and locked on him like crazy. And normally it's Cooper Kupp, and now it's Puka Nacua. Still Puka for me, but I agree with what you said, Bryce.
I wouldn't be worried. It appeared that this rib injury was more of a concern last week, or oblique injury was more of a concern last week than it is this week. So if he played last week, it's looking like he's definitely going to play this week. So
these are 2 wide receivers. I have one ranked 6th and one ranked 16th. I'm not worried about either one of them starting. So you're fine either way, in my opinion.
Right. Yep, you're in a good spot. So the next one is Goff or Lawrence for Jose Vega here. Sully.
I need to check because I just don't remember who plays who.
I have Lawrence 1 spot ahead of Goff, so I'm going.
And I have him 3 spots ahead. Yeah, thanks, Bryce. I will go with Lawrence too. I have him a couple spots ahead.
Yeah, T-Law for me.
He's got to bounce back.
Wanted to get his opinion since he's back. I don't know which one.
I don't know what that refers to.
Kirk, Addison, Nico, pick 2.
I'm sitting Addison.
Me too.
Yep.
Just volume for me.
Yep.
Yep.
Nico or Tutu Atwell. We had a case of fraud on our showroom, and it happened to be my customer who was the criminal. Oh, because he was dealing with the police during our baseball game the other night.
I was hoping he sold another car, but I guess not. Nico for me.
Sounds like he did. It was just fraudulent.
Yeah, just not.
Well, then you didn't. Then you didn't.
Not legally.
Nico for me.
Nico for me as well. Make sure y'all pick up Elijah Moore. This is the game he puts up a 20 burger. I'm for super serious. Don't pay attention to that 6-point prediction.
Yeah, I'm telling you, this is a game for him.
Elijah,
I don't know about 20.
He's due for a good week for sure. He's getting the volume for it, so he's going to eventually turn it into one.
If Puka does it again today, I'm changing my name to Puka Nacua. Well, you won't have to change your name because they don't play today.
True.
James says Drake
point.
London or Nico Collins.
Nico Collins for me.
I think it has to be. This isn't a talent thing. This is an opportunity and a volume thing. So, Nico.
Yep.
I agree. Even though I don't like
Pisses
you guys
me
know
off.
I love Drake. You guys know I was on Drake.
I like Drake London a lot too.
My number one receiver coming out last year. Love the guy. But what are you going to do? He'll throw the ball. What are you going to do?
Mike Duke says, would you play Geno, Wilson, or Jordan Love over Fields this week?
Geno, yes. Love, no. Wilson, no. So I have Fields 14th, Wilson 16th, Love 17th. That's how I have it ranked. So Geno is 9. I don't know why I threw Wilson in there. Sorry, I was confusing questions. Geno, I would. The rest, I wouldn't.
The answer is no. If any, I consider it'd be Russell Wilson.
That's exactly where I'm at with it. Fields, again, rushing for 70 yards today.
Where do you have him this week?
I have him at 9.
That's fair.
I'm more excited after the whole comments and everything than I was before.
Is it a 1 o'clock game?
No, 4. They play 4:35, I think.
4 o'clock.
I like those. I like good games at that time. I feel like yesterday they were all poo-poo games at 4 o'clock.
The afternoon usually is. I don't know why.
No, last week it was like, all these.
But a lot of times they're like super hyped up to be way more than they end up being too.
And then you're like, I need a nap. This sucks.
Last flex spot in a 12-man 3 flex PPR. Do I start Terry or Miles Sanders?
Terry for me.
Yeah, me too.
And then we're right back here. Terry McLaurin or Brian Robinson for dirty money in a half PPR.
You should launder your money, and I'm going with Robinson here.
You should launder
Terry for me as well. Terry for me.
Yeah.
Minnie Jordan says full PPR. Choose a wide receiver. Christian Watson, JSN, Dobbs, Jaden Reed, So you have the entire Packers wide receiver core. Josh Reynolds.
Ugh.
I'm going Christian Watson, but Josh Reynolds would be my number 2 here.
Christian Watson for me. I'm still making sure he's playing because he was only limited all week, and I don't think he practiced on Thursday, but he practiced on Friday.
Well, that's why I gave him my number 2. If Watson doesn't go, I mean, I could see Jaden or Dobbs too, but Josh Reynolds is just he's like the easy number 2 in that Detroit Lions passing game. We've got Amon-Ra with the toe thing. Reynolds had 80 yards in week 1, even though he didn't find the end zone. He had 2 touchdowns last week. I don't love it. I said last week I don't love putting Josh Reynolds in there, but it just seems like he is going to get targeted in that Lions pass offense. So I'd go Christian Watson if he plays, and then Josh Reynolds if he doesn't.
I don't know if it's just my disdain for the Packers in general, but I'm not so sure Christian Watson is really any good. And he's hurt a lot. I don't really want to trust him coming back. JSN, it's too soon, but wait till the back half of this year. Dobbs and Reed fall into the same category as Watson. I agree with you 100% on Josh Reynolds, but I'm starting Christian Watson here, and I hate it, but I am. If he's active, obviously.
He's warming up on the field, it said.
That's
he and Aaron Jones are on the field warming up.
Amari Cooper or Collins for flex in a standard and your next Super Bowl contenders?
It's Amari Cooper for me, and I'm not sure what the next Super Bowl contenders is.
It's Cooper for me as well. And right now, I mean, if we're just throwing out a team, right now the 49ers look pretty damn good. And yeah.
I like the Vikings in 2025 with Kyren Williams.
You might need 2026. You give the kid a little bit of time, but
we need a little more than that. We need an old line too, so we might need a few more years.
Bryce, who are you going with here?
Oh, Amari Cooper. I feel like we've had him all day, but okay. I don't know.
Cooper could be the number one receiver.
I'll put the Dolphins as the Super Bowl contenders. How about that?
Dolphins were my second that I was going to say. Roman Arguello, Roman A. Full PPR. Do you think Jaylen Warren will outwork Najee Harris? Who would you play? If we're saying outwork, I don't know if he'll get more work, but I think he scores more points.
Couldn't agree more. Exactly what I was going to say.
I think he'll get more touches and more points.
Okay.
Should I trade Jerome Ford for Drake London in a full PPR? Yes, please do it right away. Don't think about it. Snap, accept. Yes.
100%.
Yep.
Start Ford or Warren in full PPR. Rappaport says Warren will have bigger role this week against a soft Raiders defense. I'm going Warren over Ford.
I am too. Matchup.
I'm gonna go Ford.
I worry about that matchup. That's a really nasty matchup, so that's why I'm going Warren. But normally I would go Ford, so wouldn't argue with you.
I've got belief in the Browns O line.
It's very good.
Nico or Amari Cooper? We went with Cooper on the last one there for Patrick Moran, or Parker Moran. Sorry, I totally read that wrong. Brendan needs to know who to flex. Cortland Sutton, Kendrick Bourne, Joshua Kelley, Amari Cooper. Thanks, fellas. Are we all going Cooper here?
Yes, please.
Amari Cooper. Easily.
Oh, he said pick 2. He put that in the next one. So Amari Cooper and then Joshua Kelley for me.
Yep.
Josh Kelley, Amari Cooper for me as well.
You're right. I totally bragged, and it's not a good look on me, but I'm not a lineup question guy. I'm going to have opinions about players, guys, and I talking about hey, keep it up, Steven. We're fine with it.
We're all good, bro.
That's the one we just had in there again. Guys, remember, you only got to put it in there once. We will get to it, I promise, but we do go in order. Right now, we are about 11 minutes behind on the question. So pick 3 here for Javonte. Pick 3 for NPG, Javonte, Swift, Algier, Hall, Ford. Picking 3, Javonte, I think we're all going to agree on.
Yes.
I'm sitting Breece Hall.
And who else?
Nope,
there's 4 there, isn't there?
There's 5.
Is there 5 there? I can't add.
I'm sitting Hall and Ford.
Hall and Algier for me.
Hall and Ford for me. Man, yeah, Hall and Ford.
I don't know if Algier gets that much work this week. That's why.
Kyren or Christian Kirk for Sports Spotlight here. I'm playing Kyren.
Kyren Williams a must start. He gets all the work.
Man, I really like both these guys, but I don't see how.
I don't want to say Kirk with Zay Jones out, but I agree with you.
And I don't see how you take Kyren out of that lineup right now. Like, just I'm always the clearest path to touches, right? And he's easily the clearest path to touches. So I got to go with Kyren, but come on, man, get them both in there.
You're in a good spot there. And he also says, and if Aaron Jones doesn't play, I'll move Kyren to running back. So do I do Josh Reynolds or Kirk? It's Kirk and Kyren
Absolutely.
If Jones sits, but it looks like Jones is going to play. So
100%.
I'm going Jones and Kyren. Mikey says, starting Justin Herbert, Olave, Puka, Mixon, CMC, Laporta. Who should I flex? Gabe Davis, London, K. Miller, T. Dell, or Josh Kelley? I'm going Josh Kelley.
It's between Dell and Kelley for me, and I think I'm going to go with Kelley just because my defense is that bad.
I will also go Josh Kelley. It was between Dell and Kelley for me as well.
This separates it a little bit more on the half PPR. Dell gets hurt a little bit on the half PPR.
Yeah, still Kelley for me.
Yep. That just separates it, makes it a little bit easier. I didn't put that up before we answered, but I think it would have separated them just a little bit more. Finn Storm, Madison, or Joshua Kelley? I'm going Joshua Kelley.
Yeah, Kelley easily.
Not easily, but yes.
Wait, which one did you pick Madison over earlier? When we started,
it wasn't over Kelley, though, I don't believe. I think it was over someone else. And if I contradict myself, I did, but I do have Kelley ahead of Madison in my rankings.
It would be really great if you did after our
possible.
Started off with great. Half PPR, Jacoby or Gabe Davis. I also have Stephon Diggs. I'm going Jacoby here. I don't think people realize how good he was in week 1 before that concussion. He's been good in his career, even with New England, but last year was trash sauce in that offense in New England. I'm going Jacoby.
Yep. He's only had one bad play, I think, his entire career, and that's when he just threw the ball to the Raiders and let him score
against his new team.
Yeah,
against his new team. He knew what was happening.
Foreshadowing, baby.
Yeah,
right? NFL script foreshadowing right there.
Yeah.
We'll sign you to a nice deal next year if it's Jacoby for me, and it's not even close. Like, he's awesome.
Hey,
such a sure-handed guy.
Where you at on these super chats there, Bryce? Isn't that your job?
What happened? Did I have one?
You only asked 2 minutes ago, so it's not too bad. But
I don't know why it doesn't scroll with me.
It doesn't like the $1.99.
Yeah, apparently not. Okay, so Taylor Meredith wants to know Hunter, Storm, Granson, Schultz, and first question. Elaborate on what you mean at the end. I'm going Hunter Henry.
So weather's a factor, right?
There's a 60% chance. There's a 60% chance of a rain. Yes.
So that's no big deal. If it's not super windy, the rain isn't that big a deal.
Unless it's just an absolute torrential downpour, but I think it said light rain, right? It didn't. When you
that was for the other game, but I mean, usually if you have a 60% chance of rain, it's not going to be a downpour. Usually when there's a downpour coming, they know it's coming. You know what I mean? So
100%.
Aaron Jones,
100% chance.
Guys, here's some breaking news for you. Aaron Jones, David Bakhtiari, Christian Watson, and Jar Alexander are inactive.
Inactive? That changes Olave, too. Olave just jumped quite a bit with Zaire Alexander out.
I got some work to do, so we might need to leave a little early today. I like Hunter Henry here. I just don't trust the other two, regardless of the situation. And now I'll look up the weather. Holy hell, that's a kick in the teeth.
Who's that from? Is that Rappaport or Scheffner?
Yes.
Scheffner. Or Rappaport, yep.
Rap sheet, yeah. New England plays who, guys? Sorry.
Jets.
Well, that's a knock right there. 64 degrees, 96% chance of rain, and a 13-mile-an-hour northeast wind.
13
according to NFLweather.com. I'm going to stick with Hunter Henry because I think he has the best chance to score a touchdown, regardless.
Taylor, I'm going with Hunter Henry as well, but if you get to if it gets to the point where they're showing the game before it starts and it's just like a torrential downpour, I'm going with Schultz.
Fair enough. Yeah, take Aaron Jones out of my lineup.
Cat says, has Josh Reynolds been a fluke? Haven't seen much mention of him. Would you play him over Sky Moore, Tank Dell, Jaden Reed for work 16-team league? I'm starting him over Sky Moore, but I think with the news that Christian Watson's out, I may go Jaden Reed, then Tank Dell, then Josh Reynolds. I think Josh Reynolds is the safest.
Super chat after this one.
Man, before the Christian Watson news, it would be only Tank Dell, but now Jaden Reed is definitely in the equation. I'll take because Jones is out too, so I'd start Reed over Reynolds, but I don't like it. So is he a fluke? No, I've liked him all the way back to his Rams days. I just think he's always had better guys in his lineup, but I think you have to play Tank and Reed over him this week.
Yep, it's Tank Dell for me, number one, with Jaden Reed right behind, then Josh Reynolds, and then super chat. You want me to put it up? Okay.
Yep, you're good.
It's probably pretty easy for us. First part, at least. Michael Pittman or Jerome Ford. I think we're all going to probably go Michael Pittman here.
Michael Pittman, easy.
Yeah,
easy.
The weather's not that bad there, from what I read. And then Goff or Dak.
I have Goff at QB8 and Dak at QB13, so I'm on the Goff side as well.
Goff for me,
and I'm Goff at 10, Dak at 12. So I'm with you on that one.
Special K says Addison, McLaurin, London, Khalil Herbert, Gabe Davis. We need to start two out of here. I'm going with McLaurin and Addison.
I'm agreeing with you.
Addison and McLaurin for me as well.
It is half PPR. Again, it was after, if that changes anything, but I think I'm still sticking with it.
Same question.
Yeah, I know. I was saying he said half PPR. We didn't know that. Sorry. I didn't know if it changed your opinion on anything. Just letting you know.
No, sir.
Nope.
Tyrone, 2 points, says full PPR. Do I start Alexander Madison? No. Sutton, London, or Gus Edwards in flex?
It didn't go through the whole question.
Gus Edwards in London for me. One, Gus Edwards.
Gus Edwards for me as well. I think this is who he chose Madison. He chose Madison over Gus Edwards at the beginning. That's
Alexander Madison.
We writing it down? $5?
Sure, write it down. Sure.
I'll definitely get on the Gus Edwards.
Yeah, I'm
sure.
Did you say 500?
No, $5 is fine.
I tried to get Bryce on one earlier too. He said, "Yeah, I'll take this." Put however much down you want to.
I bet Sully would agree with mine. I got James Cook over Kenneth Walker. You had them both in your I know you had Cook in your top 12. I didn't. You probably have.
Yeah. Walker's like right there too, but I would be with Bryce.
I'll
Charbonne's got to do something sooner or later.
Full PPR, Brian Robinson Jr., Elijah Moore. This is Brian Robinson Jr. fairly easily for me. I'm not on the Elijah Moore bandwagon this week.
I like Elijah Moore. It's B-Rob for me.
It's Moore for me. I just think it's such a great opportunity this week, and Robinson's in tough this week, so could go either way, but I'll go with Moore.
If Brian Robinson wasn't getting work in the passing game, I would agree, but now that he is and Gibson is relegated to not – I didn't see that coming this season.
Neither did I.
Would you trade Kamara for Jonathan Taylor in a full PPR league? This is interesting, right?
In redraft, 1,000% yes.
We've got Kamara out for this week, Taylor out for at least the next two.
At least.
1,000% yes for me because Kamara is back next week. So I already got a
rather
week
have
in my
Kamara is what
pocket.
you're saying.
Yes.
Okay, yeah, he's saying would you trade Kamara?
Sorry, I'm answering it the wrong way. No.
Yeah.
I want Alvin Kamara here. Sorry, guys.
I also want Alvin Kamara. I'm not convinced that Jonathan Taylor. It sucks for me having him in my main league, the one I pay attention to the most. But I'm just not convinced that he even comes back and plays after the or not suspension, but the IR or whatever. I'd rather have the certainty, especially in a redraft with Kamara.
I think the Colts are going to try to toll that contract any way they can.
Here's where I'm at. I am if I have running backs, I'm gonna take the chance and I'm gonna try to get Taylor. I think Taylor is better. I think that he has more upside if he does come back in week 5, even week 6. If I have running backs because I took Kamara in the 8th round, then I'm going to take the risk and I'm going to go after Jonathan Taylor. If I don't have enough running backs to withstand if that backfires, then I'm sticking with Kamara. But I think the upside is with Taylor. We just saw Zach Moss have a really great day for that Colts team. If he comes back to the Colts or if they trade him or whatever happens, I don't see him not playing. Maybe
we saw Zach Moss with Gardner Minshew. What does Zach Moss with Anthony Richardson look like? Like, it's going to be a totally different dynamic on how that offense runs and how it rolls, right? Like, Richardson's going to run a hell of a lot more than Minshew does. And I don't disagree with what you're saying. I just don't know if the upside is 2 games better than Alvin Kamara.
Here's the thing. We only saw that for a quarter. Like, he got knocked out.
I thought he got hurt early.
What Richardson did. It was only like it was before the half. I know. It was pretty early, but we didn't see Zach Moss with him. I think Richardson, just like Fields did for the Bears running backs last year, like we've seen Lamar and the efficiency that we've seen from the running backs in Baltimore. I feel like Richardson is a benefit to whoever is in the backfield, even though he does take carries. He opens it up. The defense has to worry about him. It helps the efficiency of the running game. And Taylor in the backfield with Richardson would be freaking crazy. So that's where I'm at. But again, it's a risk thing. I think that Kendrick Miller is going to be more involved in the backfield. Jamal Williams will come back. I don't think it's going to be just Kamara anymore for the Saints when everybody's healthy and not suspended. So that's where I'm at with him versus Taylor. But again, you'll have to be able to withstand that if Taylor isn't there. If you got lucky and you got Kamara late and you drafted a Kyren Williams late and you have that depth at running back to make it, then I'd try it. If not, then you got to stick with Kamara because he's the known source.
I do love the Kamara late factor in there. I think that's valid. Amon-Ra St. Brown, Josh Reynolds, DeAndre Hopkins, all officially active today.
Who was the one in the middle that you said?
Josh Reynolds. There was a little bit of concern with him, apparently. I didn't see it, but he's active.
I've got my monitor on TD and this, and they just announced finally all the Packers players. Freaking better late than never, I guess.
All right.
So we broke the news before they did?
At least on this, yeah.
We did.
We might be behind a little bit.
Have you paid attention to any of these super chats? Do we have any? Just making sure.
Yeah. I've been kept scrolled down at the bottom.
We're all Javonte over Madison, right? We already had that one, I believe. You're
Javonte Williams
Madison over Javonte Williams.
I'm ranked higher, yeah. Let me double check.
$5 on that. Do we do $5 on that one too? And we just got a super chat.
You're going Javonte over Madison, right, Bryce?
Yes.
Sorry, guys. Nope, I have Madison 2 spots behind him, so I am Javonte.
Okay. Diff League, P. Ryan or Damian Harris?
Ugh.
I think I go P. Ryan just because we might get some PPR work.
Maybe. Yeah. Should be a high scoring game. He is still in like 50% of the snaps.
Latavius Murray's kind of eating into Damian Harris, hey? Like, he's not doing much.
He's getting all the goal. He's getting all the stuff inside the 15.
So that's why I'm P. Ryan. Not that he's getting a ton of work.
Super chat.
Wait. Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
You got to wait so I don't lose my spot there, though, bro.
Oh.
I'll find your spot.
I found it.
I saw where you're at. Yeah, I say Dotson or Dobbs.
With Christian Watson out, I'm going Dobbs here.
I am too.
Me too. I just wish it was the wrong answer. I like Dotson. Just isn't happening yet.
Hey, Evan, we appreciate you. Tyrone says, do I start Alexander Madison, Sutton, London, or Gus Edwards? I think we answered that one above. I think it was asked twice, right?
We did. Yep.
We all
and
went
that's
with
not
Gus
where
Edwards.
We were. No,
you went Madison.
No, we didn't. I went Madison.
Yeah. And that was a $5
Wait, so
bet.
did I completely lose
Yes, sir.
I did. My spot is
Yeah.
complete. Bryce,
I
good
thought
job
I had
here,
it.
man. I am lost.
No, we'll find it. We'll find it.
Right here, right?
Yeah.
That's
Pingus,
it.
Pingus. Miles
That's
Sanders
it,
and
Pingus,
Gus
Pingus.
Edwards. I'm going Gus the bus here.
Gus Edwards for me.
Yeah, I agree.
Psycho Mantis says non-PPR start one running back and one flex. Madison, Joshua Kelley, Mostert, Zay Flowers. One running back, one flex. Mostert is the easiest play out of all these for me. Then it's Joshua Kelley.
Mostert and Kelley for me.
Where do I have Madison? Do I have Madison ahead of Kelley? I keep contradicting myself.
No, you've been picking Kelley over Madison, I believe.
Yeah. So
You
and
have not
Mostert's
been
the
picking
easy
him.
one.
Yeah.
Mostert's the easy one for sure. So it's Mostert and Kelley for me.
Bryce, do you have to leave right at noon?
No.
Okay, I'm just asking to before you do take off, let me and Sully both take a break to set our lineups.
Okay.
Now that we have the news, because I know Sully said that he had to.
I got a bit of
Aaron
Aaron Jones scattered across a billion lineups. So just my
Me
head just
too,
exploded. So, frick.
Just before you take off, I want to make sure. I only need like 10 minutes, but
Yeah, you're fine.
oh, we did answer that one. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Team out of nowhere: Breece Hall or Javonte this week? Full PPR.
Javonte. Can't trust Breece yet.
Yeah. Should be Breece, but it's Javonte until the usage is right.
I agree 100%.
Both might be top 5 if neither got hurt.
Valid.
Yeah.
James Conner or Pacheco, flex, full PPR. This is so easily James Conner for me. I will be on James Conner every week. I'll tell you to start him, I promise.
I agree by a wide margin, especially Pacheco's banged up. He was almost not going to go this week, so Conner for sure.
Even though the Bears are a great matchup, but if he was full health, we may have a conversation. But
Could be a CEH day.
James Conner just gets them dump offs, baby. I love it. Half PPR, Kendre Miller, Gabe Davis at the flex.
I'm Gabe Davis here. I don't know what Miller is yet.
Yeah. I'm gonna go get Davis with these options. Yep.
Oh, man, it's not that easy for me. I kind of like the unknown in Kendre Miller with everybody hurt and out for at least a week. If this was week 4, then it would definitely be Gabe Davis for me. But since you guys both said Davis, I'm not really going to go against it. But I probably personally go Miller. But I'm a risk taker, baby. Let's gamble.
J.C. Jackson's out for the Chargers. Justin Jefferson and Addison and everybody else just got a little bit more attractive.
He really left New England and just became like invisible and hurt.
Right?
David Kyle says start 2 in a full PPR. Jerome Ford, Rashad White, Brian Robinson Jr. Start 2, I'm going White and Robinson.
White and B-Rob for me.
It's B-Rob for sure. White and Ford both don't have a very nice matchup, but I'll take White and join you guys.
Appreciate you guys. Pick one DST. Jacksonville, Cleveland, Seattle. Give me 1 second. And so
Look at my DST rankings. My rankings?
No, about rankings, but not yours specifically. Let's see.
Cleveland 8, Seattle 9, Jacksonville 11. Cleveland
for me. They are going to get more sacks this year, probably. So Cleveland.
I have Seattle ahead. I'm going Seattle, but I mean it's
back to back in mine 8 and 9. So either one.
See, I have Seattle 5 and well, actually, I'm looking at the wrong thing. I always forget that one pulls ours together and averages it out instead of when I'm looking at that one. So I got to go over here to DST. Yes,
Super chat after this,
ahead, so.
or did we get that one already?
The Dots and Dobbs, yeah, we got that one.
No, we got Pittman Ford.
Yeah,
did we do that one?
We already got that one. Yeah, and then golfer deck. Yep.
I'll just
Chris
stay quiet. I'm confusing stuff.
Chris says PPR start 2, DK, Pittman, T. Higgins, Gabe Davis, or D Hop. I'm going DK and Pittman here.
DK and Pittman for me as well.
Me as well. There's too much question about the other guys. I hate sitting Hopkins, but that's the right answer. DK and Pittman.
Dynamite
good
Herbivore
wide receivers, though.
Yes, that is very good options he had there. What it is, Michael Rappaport or Danny Aiello, Gilligan's Island scenario? Michael Rappaport.
I don't even know who the other guy is.
I don't know what we're talking about.
Or Nico Collins from Brendan. He yelled it at us too, so he really needs an answer.
Nico Collins.
I won't yell it, but it's Nico.
I feel like Zay Flowers hadn't been the answer very much today, but he probably should.
I think that's a tough game. He'll probably have a good game, but it's a tough spot.
Jamie Flores says Higgins, Pittman, or Mike Williams. Pick 2.
I'm sitting Higgins.
I'm sitting Higgins. Chris DeSante says pick 2. DK, Pittman. We just had that one, right?
Yeah, you went up. You need to go to the other Chris DeSante.
It bounced on me here.
Yeah, there you go.
Chris says, full PPR, do I start Freiermuth or pick up Schultz, Njoku, Taysom, or Higbee?
I think I start Freiermuth. I don't love it, but Schultz is not CJ Stroud's choice. Njoku is not Deshaun Watson's choice, and Higbee is a huge disappointment, who I thought would be heavily involved, and Taysom is week to week good and garbage. So I'm going to stick with Freiermuth.
I mean, it depends on who you're dropping. I may go Taysom this week because I think he gets probably a couple more carries with all the injuries at running back. But just start Freiermuth. Let's not get kicked.
Yeah, I'm going to start Freiermuth here.
Albert says...
Good. I was going to say you can take your break whenever since it's getting close to 150 back to back.
We might be done earlier today anyway because we're almost out of questions and we can just cut it after we get all the questions answered.
Okay.
Albert says, help. Zay Flowers, Weather, Godwin, DK. I'm going with DK.
DK for me.
Who's Cleveland got? They got
Tennessee.
Tennessee. Why do I have who Cleveland has? Who has Tampa Bay playing?
Eagles.
I go with DK here.
We all know Baker under pressure is not very good, and we all know Philly's bringing pressure, baby.
Yeah. Baker's been surprisingly good this year, though, but you're right.
Well,
You skipped one.
The Bears literally pressured him none, though. They pressured nobody any.
Well, and he played Minnesota, so maybe he hasn't been that good.
For reals, Gino. For reals, Gino or Tua.
Oh, Tua. I thought he was going to say Field. I thought that was supposed to be Field, Gino, or Tua.
If it's Fields, then it's Fields for me. Or Tua. It's still Tua no matter what.
It's still Tua for me. Yeah.
There's very few quarterbacks when Tua is healthy that I'm starting over Tua with those options. So Tua. Even without Waddle, it's Tua.
Tua. Start 1, Michael Thomas, Jacoby Myers, Gus Edwards. Bryce.
Jacoby Myers.
Michael Thomas for me. Jacoby's a very close second.
I think if Jair played, it would be Michael Thomas for me.
I just saw how much Thomas was targeted. Thomas was Carr's target of choice, and it's the only. I haven't watched a ton of Saints, but the beginning of that game last week, it was Michael Thomas all day. So I'm going to stick with him just based on volume.
Yeah. Like none the second half, though.
True.
I'm going Gus,
which
Edwards.
Is good because I needed to love it. Really? Eh?
I think Gus is a top running back option this week with nobody else in that backfield. Now, if they come in and Melvin Gordon gets involved, then Kenyon Drake gets involved, then, screw Ricky. But Gus has been there. They know Gus. They trust Gus. Even when it was him and Dobbins in the backfield, Gus was still getting action. I think he gets a bunch, 2 touchdown upside. It would be him, Michael Thomas, then Jacoby for me. Unknown Fiti says Najee Harris or Jerry Jeudy at the flex. I'm going Jerry Jeudy.
Easily. Jerry Jeudy.
Yeah. I don't know if it's easy, but yeah.
It is when it's Najee for me.
Judy's been Jeudy, though. Like,
he's only played one game this year. He only played one game.
But he might be the most overhyped guy we've had on as a team at RotoHeat since he's been in the league. Like, we all like him, and he's really done nothing.
He was decent last year, and we just can't stay healthy.
I would argue
he's not bad.
I would argue that Najee has been as big of like a disappointment at running back. He had the good rookie year because he got 90 some targets, but it has not been good. He is not a good runner. He's just not.
No.
So I could argue both of those guys have been overhyped.
I had Chase and Pitts ahead of him, but I did have him third, so I had him pretty hyped. Yeah.
Breece Hall, Najee, or Gus? I'm going Gus.
I think you have to.
100% Gus Edwards.
Lofton says, good morning, gents. Full PPR, Russell Wilson or Ryan Tannehill? Russell Wilson.
Yeah, Russell Wilson.
By a very large amount of distance.
Not to sound condescending, I kind of did there. I didn't mean to, but it caught me off guard because I haven't had a Ryan Tannehill question.
I haven't seen his name hardly ever. Yeah,
I don't think we've had a Ryan Tannehill question in 3
I think we were all excited. Not all excited, but I think we were pleasantly surprised with Tannehill week 1, and then week 2 happened, and it was like, never mind. So, but Russell Wilson's...
No, vice versa. Vice versa. Week 1,
right, sorry.
Yeah.
Week 1, correct, yeah. But Russell Wilson has been effective. Ugly, but effective.
Yeah, it's been good for fantasy.
Good fantasy quarterback, 100%.
Morning, fellas. Is that a 4-point PPR? Is that what he's saying?
Cool.
Our need to Cortland Sutton, Terry McLaurin.
I think he needs to start 4.
I think he needs 4. I think he needs 4 people.
But he only gave us 3.
Okay, I'm not
Start them all then. Start them all and add somebody.
Mark, what do you guys think about playing? Okay, so that's not to that question. Mark, we need to know exactly what you mean here. If it's 4 PPR, I mean, I'm going Michael Pittman here no matter what.
Yeah. You go Pittman,
and
Sutton.
I don't know if it answers a question, but I have him ranked Pittman, McLaurin, Sutton. So I don't know if that helps at all.
That's where I would have him.
And it would be Pittman, McLaurin, Sutton.
Yeah. Pittman,
for me, it's
McLaurin,
like Sutton. Like,
yeah.
we talk about Jerry. We talk about Jerry Jeudy not doing anything.
Well,
Cortland
I don't know.
Sutton's been more hyped, and he only averaged like 3 fantasy points per game
last
week.
They got on
yeah, okay.
They got on NFL Game Day the panel picking who's going to win between the Chiefs and the Bears. Why would they waste their time with those picks?
Go away.
Why would they even do that?
Sutton, Harris, or Kelley. I mean, they got beat by the Colts last year, so
true. But it's just like everyone's gonna pick them. Like,
okay, let's pick these answers so we can go set our lineups. Clack 5 White, Sutton, Harris, or Kelley. Oh my goodness, I'm going Kelley here. Need 2.
I think the one time I'm gonna have Harris in my. Actually, you know what? I'm gonna put Sutton in over Harris. This is just a formula for a lot of Bronco players to put up a lot of fantasy points this week. So give me Sutton and Kelley.
I'm going Kelley and Sutton as well.
I am sitting Sutton. I'll go with Harris. I just clearest path to touches. Najee is still going to get some work, and it's the Raiders, guys. This isn't anything crazy. So
it's the Dolphins because they're going to have to throw the ball probably 40 plus times today. So
yeah. I guess my counter to that would be this is Najee Harris. He's as bad as a running back as the Raiders are a defense.
Yeah, but when you look at the productivity that he's put up in the back half of last year after he got that steel plate out of his foot in his rookie season, he's still been a more consistent fantasy producer than Cortland Sutton. So that's why I'm going.
I mean, that's valid. I'm not.
That's the only reason I'm doing it that way. I don't love either one.
What do you guys think about playing Jordan Addison? We love it. We all said it. Minnesota's going to throw the ball a ton this year, and
J.C. Jackson out helps too.
Yep. From the tight end junkyard, would you take Hurst, Otten, or Granson?
Otten
for me as well.
Otten, yeah.
I want to pick Granson just because of his photo shoot.
That thing was so funny.
Because that was the most epic thing I've ever seen.
I didn't see it.
It's you didn't see it. I posted
he
it.
He took like a photo shoot like after
with his first touchdown. Like it was a baby.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
I'll have to look it up.
It was hilarious.
I put it on my Twitter if you want to go look at the Twitter there. Chris Desante says, thank you so much, guys. Good luck today. Same to you, Chris. Mr. Grapefruit says, buffalo chicken pizza or French dip sandwich for lunch. I'm going with the buffalo chicken pizza. You can even throw some pineapple on it just to make Sully hate me more.
So I'm going with both and taking home what I don't. I'm going with both and taking home the leftovers for dinner. This is easy.
I love a French dip with some au jus.
I love buffalo chicken too.
I like buffalo chicken. I'm just not really a fan of it like in a pizza form. I don't know.
Holy hell, I'm hungry right now after that.
Yeah, that's the other thing. If I can get out of here, get my lineup set, and go get something to eat before the games, I'm in for it. Malachi says, start 2, Brian Robinson, Josh Jacobs, Joe Mixon, Kareem Hunt. This has got to be Joe Mixon first for me. And then, Josh Jacobs, but I don't love it. I hope they get it figured out.
It is Jacobs and Mixon for me.
As opposed to joke question, thanks going to Oh, no problem. Last one, gents. Thanks for the great show. Allen or Hurts?
Like Josh Allen or Jalen Hurts?
Yeah.
Holy shit.
Options, bro. Trade one if it's a 1 QB. I have Hurts one spot ahead. They're 2 and 3 though.
I gotta look.
Can't go wrong.
2 and 3 for me as well. I gotta go with Allen.
So we just have them flip?
I will break the tie and go Allen.
I'm a little bit concerned about Hurts so far this year in that offense.
Yeah, he hasn't looked that great, but they'll probably put it together.
But Josh Allen's threw 3 interceptions and had a fumble, gave up 4
turnovers. But I thought he looked pretty good in week 2.
Yeah. But I'm just saying, like, it's still early, so I see any of them bouncing back. I'm not concerned with any of those guys yet, like I am with my team and my quarterback. I'm concerned with
Allen can't play the Jets for whatever reason, but I agree with you.
Sorry, fellas, I meant PPR talking into his.
How do we not know that? We're stupid. We're like PPP or what? 4 PPP. That's what I said. Never mind.
It was
so 4-point PPR.
Yeah. No, it's just PPR.
PPR.
I think you just meant PPR.
Oh,
I guess
that's weird. Anyway, I want to play in a 4 PPR league. I love leagues that just give you shit tons of points, so I'm into that.
Let's do one next year where we have it set
just
up
crazy.
To score a
8 points a carry, shit like that. Yeah, let's go.
Yeah, let's do something crazy. Full PPR, Gabe Davis or Tutu Atwell?
Tutu.
I'm going Tutu.
Tutu Atwell.
Never ever in my life would I have thought I said that. I would say that.
He looks pretty good.
Mr. Grapefruit says, thanks, fellas.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you. Flowers, Collins, or Swift? I'm going with Collins.
Collins for me.
Same.
Clack 5 White says Rashad White, Najee Harris, Joshua Kelley, Cortland Sutton, Jerome Ford. I missed one player, need 3. Sorry.
I'm still Kelley and White.
Kelley and White for me.
Kelley and White. It says need 3, right?
Oh, Kelley, White, Sutton.
Kelley White, Ford.
Harris. I was Harris over Sutton on the last one. I have to be on this one.
I know. It's just funny because he brought it back to get the third guy, and then we all picked a different one.
Did we? I didn't realize that. Yeah. Sorry, dude.
Cat City says, thanks, y'all. It's been a blast. Have a fantastic NFL Sunday. Thanks for hanging out. You were hanging out for a long time.
All day, man. Longer than me, Cat. Well done.
True that. Eric Schaefer over on Facebook says, Skull PPR, Pitts or Ertz. Pitts has been killing me, and I think we're all going to go Ertz, right? He's getting too many targets to not play here.
Ertz.
It hurts no one's heart more than mine, but it is Zach Ertz.
Yeah. Tough for me. Tough for me, too.
All right. Last one here. Got him in a weird trade. Long story. Thanks again. Okay, yeah, I don't remember which one that was. Oh,
That was
Allen
just
and
the one.
Hurts.
Yeah.
Allen and Hurts. So, all right. Hey, we're going to get out of here at noon today. We have a lot of fixing on our lineups to do. So, we appreciate everybody sticking it out 9 to noon last night for 3 hours as well. It's been crazy. You guys have been great. We will see you Tuesday night. There's a new stream coming. You guys have been these streams have been rocking. So, we're going to do one on Tuesday night. Don't have any details on it yet, but it's coming. We appreciate everybody, and we'll see you later. Good luck.
See ya.